Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning, March the 15th. Just thought I'd pop in and say hello to everybody, anybody out there. A little bit of insomnia going on this morning. Lots on my mind. I'm sure there's lots on your mind every day as well. I don't know who's up and stirring about at this time of the morning, but I just wanted to pop on and say hello. It's good to see everybody. Let's see if we've got anybody who's in the same boat as we are and just here. Okay. I know that it's about almost midday in Europe, and evening. I think it is over in our friends in Australia. Good morning, Lewis. How are you? Yes, I understand that 100%, Lewis. It's such a delight editing. It's kind of where our creativity comes out. Rodney Bell, good morning to you, sir. Yeah, editing videos is where you get a chance to express your creativity. However, lots of times it's can be stressful for sure. Because oftentimes it doesn't quite go as you planned, but that's just the nature of the beast. Rodney Bell's up early. Rodney, are you going flying this morning? Does anybody? No, I'm not muted. Lewis P., can you hear me all right? Just give me a yes if you can. Everything seems to be as it should be on my end. I think everything should be doing fine as far as my sound levels that show it's going out fine. Rodney, are you tuned in to? Have you got the right speakers on? Let's see, because I'm transmitting and I'm seeing the wave down on the bottom. Okay. Lewis P says he can hear me, Rodney. You might want to check down at the very bottom and see if your audio is turned on. Oh, Okay, Rodney. That's great. Rodney, if you feel like it this morning, I'll send you an invite, or if Lewis, if you want to come on, I would be happy to do that. But I know you're busy, Lewis. That's okay, Rodney. I know exactly how you feel about operator error. Half the time I forget to mute this or mute that, and all's good, my friend. All's good. It's so great to see you up and around and doing better every day, Rodney. Yeah, the wife's still sleeping. I understand that. We don't know whether or not Lawrence is up. I think what I do is send out some invites to some people, and we'll just see who is up and about. Let's send one to. There. Let's send one to there. Let's send one to. I don't think they're up yet, but let's start with that one. Send. Okay. Send a few invites out. We'll see how that goes. One never knows who is up and around at what time of day. That's good, Rodney. It's a good sign, feeling stronger every day. And I know that with the current mass hysteria with the coronavirus, you just be careful, my friend. Yeah, my dilemma that I'm thinking about is I've had a couple of people want to buy my brand new Inspire 1. And I'm seriously considering it because my go to bird is my Mavic 2 Zoom. I love flying that. And I have a nostalgic compassion towards the Inspire, but flying it a couple of times, it's as good as I remember, but it it isn't a match for my Mavic 2 Zoom as far as I'm concerned for my ease of grabbing it, going, putting it in the air, length of air time, being almost 30 minutes. I never fly that long in one ship or anything, but I could. And the distance is great with the OcuSync too. So I just don't know what to think about. I kind of was tossing and turning, sleeping, so that's why I'm up, trying to think about what I should do or shouldn't do. But that's my issue this morning here. I'm sure I'll figure it out. What'll be, what will be. Good morning, Tim Rian. How are you this morning? Yeah, I know, Rodney. Yes. Used to be the Inspires I used to do the ship with, Inspire 1, Inspire 2. And then when they came along with the Mavic 2, I got the Mavic 2, the Mavic Pro, and I liked it a lot. But what it didn't have, the Inspires, I always put the zoom cameras on them, so I was able to zoom in and out and frame the shots. So then when they came out with and the Mavic Pro has the digital zoom where you push the button on the controller and it goes boop, boop, boop. And it did zoom in, but it wasn't controlled the way I like it. So they came out with the Mavic 2 Zoom. That's when I moved to the Mavic 2 series because it had um, just to see if it works. But yeah. So right now my go-to is, and what I use is, since it's a lot of times it's bright or not bright, but what works really well for me is the fact that it it really does help me in so many ways. Is the Crystal Sky. Crystal Sky really works well. Sorry, guys, I'm over here trying to update my contacts. Okay, add a contact. Okay.
Don't believe him. Don't believe him.
Don't believe me? Well, I added you again, Lewis. I think it's in there, but I added it again anyway. So
What do you mean?
Your email address. I thought I had it, but I didn't go look through the list. So I just said, well, I'm going to send it to you. And then afterwards, I just added you as a contact. So
It's Lewis P. Floyd everywhere.
yes. Yep. And yeah, it's really great to see Rodney in here for sure.
Yeah. My father-in-law went through heart surgery. I think it was 2 years ago now. Had the pillow and all that.
Yep. Yeah, Tim Rehan. Or Tim, where are you located? Oh, Centroy's here.
Oh, I don't know about Centroid, that guy. He doesn't know how to read a clock. He doesn't know how to read a calendar. He's a math teacher.
Is he a night owl or what is going on there?
I'm messing with him big time. I sent him a text yesterday the day before yesterday. And he thought it was he just totally misinterpreted it and missed a fly, missed a meetup. Sorry, it was fun. That's okay. Oh. However, I'll give you some secretness there, Mr. Centroid. They're flying at Meltzer Park today. Go. That's I don't know. Were you there before? I think he was.
Monroe is Tim's Rehan is in Monroe, Michigan. Well, that's just south of Detroit. And I'm north of Detroit. Well, that's cool, Tim. Centroid. JDS is in the house. He's talking to you, Lewis.
Who, me?
Yeah, he says, "Hey guys, sup, teacher."
Don't call me that.
So, Lewis, have they closed down the schools now for you? Is that
I've got a month off. It's surreal. I don't know what to do. uh,
well? You get a chance to experience, when that day comes when you decide to retire, what retirement's going to be like. Because
oh, I already know. I already know that summer.
yeah,
I know how to. I know how to not do stuff.
okay.
But my problem is just like all the things I had going.
Yeah,
All County, NISMA,
yeah,
solo festivals, like my concert. I had this year. My band, my high school band, was the rockinest band I've had in a long time. Dude, we were playing tunes, celebrate good times, come on, as well as really serious stuff from
yeah.
Band literature.
Right.
I won't sing any of that stuff because you probably wouldn't know. But yeah, it's kind of upsetting. I'm there. We're gonna miss out on those concerts and such. And my little girl, skating's done. Skating's her life, and skating's done. No more skating for friggin' 3-4 weeks. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah,
Hold on a second. I'm gonna mute you and pause you here for a second.
All right. Yeah, Mark, I sent you an invite if you thought you might want to share a few moments here. You're more than welcome. You know that. Yeah, I just I couldn't sleep. At about 4 o'clock, I started stirring, and I thought, well, then I put that off until about 5 o'clock. And then I decided, what the heck? I'm going to get up and see who else is out here and not sleeping, or the early birds of the world. Because I know there's a bunch. Rodney, Lewis had to put us on mute and timed us out for just a couple of minutes. Well, good, JDS. I'm glad you're enjoying your new phone. Yeah, Rodney, that's the thing. Them young whippersnappers come and go, But it's still dark at 6 o'clock in the morning. So Tim, are you usually an early riser? Or there's Mark.
What the hell? This early, Paul?
I couldn't sleep, Mark. My issue was I tossed and turned. I got a couple of people that want to buy my new Inspire.
The one you just bought.
The one I just got.
Well, you better make a profit.
Well, you never make a profit on drones. You know how that goes. But
well,
I'm thinking that
they want it that bad, you will.
well, I'm not as out and about as I once was. The bad back, and I'm sitting with this Inspire, and it's like an effort to fly the Inspire because it's so big and
yeah,
cumbersome. And my Mavic 2 Zoom, just like I mean, it's a quick grab and go and put in the air right now,
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice.
So I'm thinking, why am I sitting here? It's like I've got the Mavic Mini,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking about passing that on to Roger because it looks like he's going to get stiffed from Saigon.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, that's kind of you. But yeah, I feel what you're saying because, like I said, I mean, I got that Typhoon H up there. I like it. I love it.
yep,
But
yep,
when I just want to go out and fly and get some aerial footage, I don't feel like unpacking and
no,
packing and
exactly,
just.
exactly. And
I mean,
that's where I'm at. And the thing is so heavy. Plus, it doesn't have near the flight time we have with the Mavic 2s. So
yeah. Hey JD8, JDS, how you doing, man? Let's see, it says so.
Tim Rehan says he's just south of Detroit here,
Okay.
and he said he's tired, forcing himself to stay awake. His wife worked Friday night,
Yeah.
drove to Toledo.
So where did Lewis go?
Lewis said he had to put us on hold from. I don't know if he had to take a little boy's potty break.
Mhm.
Or,
Yeah, he's right. He invited me to a meetup, and I thought he meant Sunday. It was yesterday, and I wouldn't have been able to go anyway. I'm still working on my quads. I didn't spend much time on them yesterday, so I gotta work on that. Maybe I'll go fly a little bit today.
okay, Rodney,
Take care. Oh,
he'll be back.
Okay. Maybe he's got to take a little potty break.
Yeah. Well, hey, happens to me all the time. Half the time when I disappear, it's not just to let me out. It's
to let you out.
it's to let me out. Yep. Drain a little fluid off the body.
There you go. There you go.
But so are you going to get some flying in today? How's your weather, Mark?
Well, I had to. That's one of the reasons why I'm up. The dogs, they're on a schedule, so this is about time because during the week they follow my schedule. So
school schedule, yeah.
So this is I got up and then I saw on my phone, and it's a little cold, but it doesn't look like it's wet or anything. It's dried up quite a bit, but I'd seen on my phone. That's why I was on my phone at first when I saw you come on. Yeah, I'll see. I just gotta do a little soldering and a little diagnostics on one of them. Bring a couple quads out. I already have batteries charged.
I feel so sorry. As you know, I don't do FPV, but I feel sorry for a lot of the FPV guys. They're having trouble getting parts and getting stuff with this whole issue.
That's it. I mean, I have a few reserve parts, but not one of everything. So,
yep.
And that is an issue with the shipping. And they said it would be a week to 2 weeks before they start being able to ship. But you know what? I think it's worse than that.
I do too. I do too. I think that's the optimistic view that they're telling everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel sorry especially for people like Manamana and some of those other younger guys that, they got a family, they don't make a lot of money, and they're trying to stretch the money, so they got to buy from, the best source, and the best source doesn't have any better contacts than anybody else.
Nope. I kind of, it would be nice though if they kind of at least do an update and say this is where we are. I try to every once in a while look for news indicating some sort of change in
right.
business in China with shipping and whatnot. And I know that I want to say UPS or something like that has reinstituted their shipping in and out of China.
Right.
So, but that's it. That doesn't mean that everybody else has.
Exactly. What that tells me is that anybody that's of the Western persuasion has probably left China, and they've replaced them now with Chinese. So they're going to try and ship. Because I heard that some of those big shipping companies, they have a lot of locals, plus they also have a lot of management that are brought in from Western countries like France, US, and everything.
Right.
And so they have bailed.
Oh, I bet. JDS said, is he going live or something? Because he said Says, stay tuned. I might do one today.
Flying, I think.
Because I know he says he's going flying, but then he goes, stay tuned. I might do one. Well, who knows? Maybe he'll go live too.
Well, if you want to stay regular JDS, you got to do a 1 and a 2 on a regular basis.
Oh, jeez, I should go flying.
Oh, Tim says that he should do another birthday flight. Lucille turned 3.
Lucille's his mistress.
Yeah. Yeah, is I think it's a Phantom, isn't it? Yeah, Phantom 4
Phantom
Pro.
4.
Yeah, a lot of guys love those Phantom 4s. I had a Phantom way back when, and of course, in the rotation of things. Then I bought one of those Autel, the orange pumpkins,
Uh-huh.
and it flew pretty good too. But it just, when I got into the Inspires, there just was nothing to match until they came out with the Mavic series. And then,
Right. I don't know. I mean, I know it's the flagship of DJI, but I've never been a fan. I should be more about function, not fashion, so to speak. I've never been a fan of the look of the Phantoms for some reason. I don't know why. I'm
well,
not crazy about the gear. I'm not crazy about the high profile, the way it sits.
Yep. Yep.
You know, 'cause if you catch wind and it's on the ground, it just to me, it never.
It is. You're 100% right, Mark, because even when I had mine, when you landed, and if you didn't land 100% like this, it did this little wobble thing, like, oh my God, it's going to go over,
And then you break a prop probably and
Yep.
stuff. So I just and it's just the classic shape, and I get it, but I just love I love the Mavic series. It's
Yep.
just
It's sleek, it's like a
sleek
sports
and
car
sexy.
in the
It's sleek and
sky.
sexy.
Yep.
And the way it folds and its compactability. I mean, you would think that that they would have done some sort of morphing of the Phantom to some sort of landing gear that would retract, so you'd
Yep.
have full 360.
Right.
That would
Right.
make a lot of sense. Get those legs up somehow, whether they telescope or whether they lift up like
Yep. Yep.
like the Typhoon or the Inspire. It could have been done.
Sure. And DJI did break a lot of ground on different things. It's like the way the Inspired cameras just twist on, twist off.
Mhm.
You would have thought they'd have brought that around circle into the Mavic series,
Mhm.
and they
Yeah.
didn't.
No.
But oh well, they got to keep bringing out more
Yeah.
as they
But
go.
what are you talking about? Twist on, twist off the props?
Well, the cameras.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Inspired. It's just a collar twist. Comes
Yeah.
off.
Oh, so you can.
Back
I didn't know you could take the cameras off that easily.
Oh yeah. Because that's how you get, the X5s, and then I also had a thermal imaging camera one time. You just put it on,
Yeah.
take it out.
Well, that's it. I mean, think about if they could do that with the Mavic 2 series. If they could do
Yep.
it where you could have the Hasselblad or the Zoom.
Sure. Yep.
That would be perfect. That'd be perfect.
But maybe somebody said, well, then we wouldn't sell as many because people want to have them both. I don't know.
Well, they would have got more money out of me because I would have paid for the one. I would have paid for the hull in both cameras.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy the Pro anytime soon. So
Well, if you do want to buy a Pro, I'll give you a little secret. There's just us here in Philly Drone Life. Remember when he had his shot out of the sky?
yeah. No, I don't remember when he got his shot out.
Anyway, it was shot out of the sky, and he got DJI sent him a replacement.
Uh-huh. Really?
It's just sitting there.
Mm.
And he's always looking to get some money,
Oh yeah. Well, maybe I'll talk to him. JDS is trying to sell me his Phantom 3 for three grand. At that rate, I'd buy your Inspire, Paul.
Well, the problem I have with the Inspire is I got a really good deal. I got it for under $1,000.
Yeah.
But then I turned around. If you're, I'll just go down the list of stupid things I bought for it. So I got that for under $1,000. Then I bought another TB848 batteries, which now are selling for like $429 on Amazon.
Jeez.
But I found one that had 5 charges on it. I paid $189.90.
Mm-hmm.
Then I found somebody, it was a dealer that had a brand new unused TB48, and I got that for $280.
Jeez.
Then I bought the Z3 camera, which is $899, but I found one that's supposedly slightly used for $525. So now I've got $2,100 in that Inspire.
What are you looking to get out of this thing now?
Well, I'm thinking I've already called eBay and I put in a claim on the Z3 camera because I don't like the way it's operating.
Really?
So on the 17th, they're going to, if I don't hear from the guy that sold it to me, they're going to step in. And you know what's good about eBay is when you do it through PayPal, it's almost guaranteed you're going to get a return and their money back.
So what's wrong with it? How is it not operating correctly?
Around the outside, it's a little bit milky.
Oh.
And around the outer edges, and it doesn't seem to want to adjust correctly the auto portion of the it's like everything is overexposed, you know. It's
really?
Yeah. And that's because I had Z3 cameras before and I never had that issue. I called DJI and they said, well, it sounds to us like there's something defective inside. You can send it in and it probably cost about $300 to fix it. I said, okay, thanks. I'll get back with you.
Yeah, right.
So I think I'm gonna follow through. So that'll reduce me down under $500.
Yeah.
For the camera. So because even though you get your money back, I don't think they give you your shipping back, do they?
No, I don't know. I doubt it.
Yeah. So
I doubt it.
yeah, that's so in the batteries, I probably could turn around and sell those TB48s because the original TB47 that came with it has still got the plastic on the front. I never charged it yet. So if I could maybe blow those off, and I'd probably lose a little money because of the shipping, you know, batteries, how heavy they are.
Yeah.
But I could probably turn around and sell the Inspire for close to what I get in it, which is the $1,000.
Yeah. JDS tacked on another $500 for shipping for that Phantom 3. JDS, you are quite the deal maker, man.
He is.
I wish I could do that.
What a great guy.
What the heck? I go away and you let this guy on?
Jesus. I thought it was 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I should have just clicked off.
I thought it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, you can't tell time being that math teacher.
I'm like, what the hell?
He responds to me, he goes, oh, I'll be there at about 1:30 or 1 o'clock or whatever. And I said, well, it's 32 minutes past already.
Yeah, I thought it was tomorrow or today, whatever. Then I look back, I'm like, oh crap, no, it wasn't. I can't even call that on that. Well, here's the problem. I have to go to work tomorrow, buddy. So what the hell are you guys doing?
No, wait a minute. Wait. I thought Oneida. Oh, Cayuga went down.
Yeah,
not Oneida.
No, we're on Indaga. And
I'm Oneida. I forget. I span like 3 freaking Herkimer, Oneida, and Madison.
We're that other Native American.
Yeah, Onondaga. Yeah, not Oneida.
But yeah, no, they're shutting us down on Friday, so we have to go to school. But then we're off for 3 weeks.
That's right. I did see that too. Because I'm thinking, okay, let's go to Friday then.
Yeah, I mean, what's the difference? What's one more week at that point, right?
Yeah.
And Mark, your wife's school is up in the air. They're not sure when what they're doing.
They're going to close now. They're probably going to do the same thing. If not, she might get a call tonight that they're closed tomorrow. And they're talking about online courses. I'm curious to see how this is going to go.
Hey, I teach band.
I know. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Well, I got a way to do it. I have awesome way to do it. But the problem is twofold. One, kids don't have the internet. And two, if I were to do it, I can't teach anything new because so many kids don't have the internet. I can't. I would only have to do review stuff because it wouldn't be fair.
Spectrum is claiming they're going to install internet hotspots for free.
Can you guess what's popping out of these right now for Spectrum? They're not two fists to fight. They're two more fingers, but not on each hand. That's what I think about Spectrum. Screw them.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that. They're gonna slow it way down, and they're gonna knuckle it so that there's no ability to use it anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I could do it, but the problem is, I mean, you know, they're talking about, you know, use Google Classroom, put on, you know, packets and stuff. I'm like,
Google Classroom is one of the worst freaking
well,
platforms out there.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like they absolutely need me, but, you know, teaching something like calculus via packet, it's that's like telling the kid to read the textbook and do the problems.
Yeah.
You know,
but what they need you for is that finite, like, I really don't get this. How did that work again? And the concept be re-explained in several different forms. And then, okay, I understand. Exactly. That's what they need you for. Not anybody can read.
Yeah, I know. So this should be an interesting thing. And not only that, there's going to be some teachers they're going to say, well, you're not going to have to do it. And then some teachers, you're going to have to do it. It's like, how is there going to be any equity there? Like, for example, no offense, but you know, your band teacher, you may be exempt from that because of the nature of your course. Phys ed, you may be exempt from that because of the nature of your course. Oh, calculus, math, and social studies, you have to teach online.
Look, there's no learning going to be taking place. Why don't we just worry about staying home?
Yeah, staying healthy,
being with our friends and family, those that are healthy in small numbers, far away from each other.
Yeah, well,
maybe in the same room.
I mean, didn't Governor Cuomo waive the 180-day requirement for?
Yeah, it's not going to screw up our summers or anything like that. Yeah. And I get it. I get people that are pissed off at people like us in these roles. But if you want to come to this freaking petri dish, come on, baby.
Exactly. Well, it's a actual fact, proven fact. The two most sickest places to work are hospitals and schools.
And I work with spit all day. Go. Hey, you know, why don't you get rid of the spit and the gargle in your form? Okay, Mr. Brown.
And when you have when you have an instrument that has something called a spit valve, we don't
go suck on that reed. It's not wet enough, man. Get over there.
No, the closest thing to spit I experience in calculus are tears.
I get those too. I get spit, tears. People shit their pants with me. No. I had a kid. I felt so bad. He's one of the nicest, coolest kids. He's a great trumpet player.
He didn't pee himself, did he?
No. I've never made a kid do that. I'm just kidding. I've made tons of kids cry.
Yeah.
Not on purpose. Well, a couple on purpose, but anyway. But this one kid, he's a great trumpet player, and he just doesn't come to his lessons. He's a top-notch student, and I give him zeros. I said, dude, what is your problem? He goes, that ain't happening, Mr. Brown. I said, what do you mean that ain't happening? Just come to your lessons. Show up at lunchtime. He goes, you make me nervous. I said, really? I said, I'm sorry. I don't mean to make you nervous, you know, because I'm the interaction with him.
Right.
And the other time is like very jovial, you know, like goofing around.
And you also have more than one at a time, so he can hide in the masses, right?
Yeah, but he apparently I make him nervous, but he's such a great player. And I tell him that every day. I said, Quentin, I want more from you. Nope,
that ain't happening. That's why.
Maybe he'll come on this show. He's ticks me off, though. Good players like that. Go back to bed, Mark. You can't swing with us early birds, us Pauls.
Hey, this is my usual time. I'm usually up at 5:30 anyway. So
Good morning, Phantom Hodges. How you doing?
I might go flying today. I haven't flown quad since December.
Wow.
And they're still in bad shape. I got some work to do on them. They're not all working the way they should be working. I got one whose motor's not working. It's not spinning at all. It doesn't even look like it's getting any power, but yet all the connections there. Don't know what that issue is.
That ESC. You got a 4-in-1 on it?
Yeah, it's probably an ESC.
More than likely. Start with the motor. Switch out the motor first, see if it's the motor, and then
Yeah.
then more than likely it's an ESC. It's probably you running one of those SpeedX.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a while since I've had one of those, but I don't know why that ESC would have gone. I didn't do much with it. I only flew it a couple times over the,
Hey, I was one of my most proudest, cleanest builds I ever did a couple of months back on that Fusion cool one. I don't know if you ever saw it, but motor 3 doesn't work. No reason for it. Brand new
Well-
ESC, flew it 4 times, came down, unplugged the battery. I was like, all right, cool. Switched it out, flew another drone, came back to it the same day after flying it 4 or 5 times, plug it back in that same day. ESC just doesn't work.
And
What?
getting
Why?
parts is pretty scarce now too, isn't it?
I got a lot of parts.
Oh,
So knock on wood, I haven't broken anything. So, and plus I have a lot of quads that I can steal parts off from. So I'm okay on that realm.
yeah. Well, I may have to start franking quadding stuff at this point, because I have an order coming from Get FPV that I don't anticipate getting anytime soon. So
Are they like holding, like even the warehouses in the United States are all
yeah,
sucked dry?
they're sucked dry and they're waiting for shipments from China.
Yeah.
That's where this stuff's coming from. So until they get everything from China, I'm dead in the water.
And see,
Not like I need this
why
stuff,
can't
but it'd be nice.
why can't we figure out a better pipeline for ourselves here? Why can't it's all the manufacturing that we don't want in our country that China
has.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I showed a map. This is crazy. I showed a map of Wuhan before and after the 2 or however many weeks or a month or whatever that they had quarantine. The weeks leading up to it, just before they had the quarantine, they showed the pollution levels over the city of Wuhan. You could barely see anything according to the coded map that they used. The pollution levels were super high.
Like smog and stuff, right?
Afterwards, guess.
It's less?
Way less.
Yeah, because they're not out in the streets.
Like magnitudes of 100 times less. It's ridiculous. Just in like the short time that everybody was quarantined, that pollution level skyrocketed down. So it was like it's a carbon neutral quarantine.
Wow.
That shit blows my mind.
So the earth is cleansing itself by giving humans.
Yeah, you could a good way to think of that, Mark. All right.
Yeah, Mother Nature gave the humans a timeout.
Yeah. Made us impose our own self-imposed timeout.
Well, periodically when enough's going on, I might go over and I like to watch. There's a channel on YouTube. It's called Venice. It's multicams, and they go around and they show this for a little, this and for a little. And I had it on just before I started up, and it's like 10 o'clock over in Venice, and there is nobody on the streets anywhere.
I just found an article here. It says for shippers from China to U.S., the coronavirus has been profoundly disruptive, causing major delays to both manufacturing and shipping, but things are starting to look up. As of the first week of March, the majority of Chinese factories have resumed production, with many operating at 80% capacity. Inter-province trucking is also up to about 80% capacity, and major ports are beginning to unclog. However, manufacturing and transport to ports are still delayed, so carriers have canceled ships. Nevertheless, signs of recovery for shipping are beginning to show. And then they have an updates page here.
Doesn't that sound like a government release?
This is a
release.
This is a shipping company.
Yeah, but I mean it's got ups and downs in it, and it's like you focus on the ups,
Well, I mean, their manufacturing's back up. It's just the shipping's still they're so backed up now that I can only imagine what kind of a congestion they have with crates and boxes that are going to be shipped.
I don't know what to do for the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, I know and I don't know.
I mean, there's tons of stuff I want to do, but
Yeah.
should we? My wife and I were just debating on, gee, should we go work out? Because I want to go work out, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to go work out.
Oh yeah, especially with this.
With all the people there,
Yeah.
especially all the advertising they do, they haven't even been smart enough to shift the advertising saying that, we now if you're going to run on the machines, there's 4 feet between them, they got them.
Oh, no. Seriously, our restaurants are instructed to only load half capacity. So in our restaurants now, I have a buddy that runs Delmonico's, and he was saying that it's a steakhouse around here that
Yep.
every other booth, they have to run half occupancy, and they have to sanitize the booth after every customer.
Okay.
So it's like,
are they going to be fined if they don't?
I believe so. He was pretty, he was like, all right,
This health department.
I believe so. Yeah. He didn't say that specifically to me, but I would assume that the edict came down through the health department.
But here would be my question, Paul, is this. How when you go to a restaurant, and especially during dinner hour, and they herd you into this room and say, we'll let you know when we have something for you, and they're sitting next to each other, boom, ba-doom, 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 ba-doom.
No, there's no waiting.
How do you stop all those people from coming there? And
I guess they're not allowing any waiting rooms. They're literally like, you come in the door, and if you have a seat available, that customer comes in. If you don't, you go back to your car.
Yeah. Maybe they give them a number system or something.
Or they give,
those little
buzzer
pagers, or whatever.
They put the coronavirus on it first before they give it to you.
Yeah, that's right.
We want to make sure you get your dose.
Right, but see that's the thing. It's like a damned if you do, a damned if you don't kind of thing. You want to go out and support, like one of my buddies, one of my best friends works in the restaurant. He's got to go to work. He's not lucky a teacher like me where I get to sit home for 4 weeks and hide from the world. He's still got to go out to work.
And now not only is he being forced to go to work, he's being forced to go to work in conditions where he's going to make even less money for being there, because now you're not going to be able to fill the tables.
And potentially get sick.
Yes.
Yeah, be exposed not only from customers, from coworkers, because they go home.
Right. So that that's another thing that I'm like, are we doing this like right but half-assed? I mean, we're getting told to do the right things, but not really. Go ahead and do these right things, but we're not going to worry. We're going to look the other way.
But Paul, don't you think it's almost a calamity of best intentions?
No good deed goes
everybody
unpunished.
wants to, but there is no way to isolate anybody
unless you do it Wuhan style. And I don't want that either. But the thing is here's another problem I have with the whole thing is Facebook is a problem. and social media is a problem because people listen too much to that. I don't know how many times I've said to just responses of like, listen to medical advice from medical personnel.
Right.
How hard is that?
Right.
Don't listen to the Facebook post that says the world is ending because you didn't get your toilet paper. Holy shit, man. God. Well, my mom's 82 and she doesn't quite get this. And I said, Mom, things are nuts. Okay. You don't get it. They're nuts. Well, what do you mean? So she lives in a little town in the middle of nowhere, I'm thinking I'm going to go to the little town in the middle of nowhere every week like I do and visit her and get her weekly groceries from the dollar store that she goes to. Nope. Their run on toilet paper is gone too. And I'm saying, Mom, you're staying in the car. You're not coming, because I'm trying to be a good son. And so I come back out with one of the 4 items she sends me in. And I hate grocery shopping because I usually fail at it all the time anyways. But I come out with the coffee filter. She goes, where the hell is the toilet paper? I said, are you scared now? They don't even have any. And she goes, really? I said, because I was talking to the kid in there. I was like, where, really? You guys don't have any toilet paper either? He goes, no. I stocked it twice this morning already, and it's only 11 o'clock.
It doesn't
What?
make any toilet paper is not
I don't get it either. I don't get it either. It's just like, it's,
coronavirus is not a plumbing issue.
yeah. Well, no, I saw on Facebook, I saw a meme that says, if you had, if you had the need for toilet paper, maybe you don't have corona, you have Chipotle disease or something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that. Yeah.
Oh, then another one I saw, oh my God, something like, oh, they're all dead, but boy, are their asses clean.
Yeah.
That's right. It was a meme, walking back through with, the yellow protective gear, and the one
Yeah.
guy saying to the other guy, oh, they're all dead, but boy, their asses are clean.
It's funny.
It's, oh,
That's
yeah,
too
common
funny.
sense has really gone out
Yes,
out
it
the
is.
window.
It is.
And it's how do you not react to the reactionaries? You got to get toilet paper too, because guess what? All the other mother are gotten their toilet paper, and you only
But-
have 5 rolls left, and you need some.
But here's the thing: toilet paper. I mean, when we go shopping for toilet paper, it'll last us almost a month.
I know.
So if everybody is that low, what are you folks doing? Buying one roll a week? Is that why you're right? Because you're afraid. My wife got toilet paper. I'm like, why? We have plenty. She goes, everybody else is getting it, which is probably why. That's why everybody did a run on it. I'm like, we could have survived 2 weeks without buying toilet paper easily. And I don't get it why people are just.
Well, maybe because they're thinking, all of our products do come from China.
Yeah.
And I've heard that China's all pissed off at us.
Oh, they're blaming us for the virus, and we're blaming them. Everybody's blaming each other.
Now, here's another crazy thing that I heard. Facebook is what I heard. That Cuba has created a vaccine and is now sharing it with Italy and everybody else, but not the United States.
Damn it. It's freaking Cubans. I knew it. Yeah.
Wow.
Listen, Cuba makes an awesome cigar, but as far as leading the world in medicine, I don't know. I'm not sold on that one.
And maybe they're distributing it only through their cigars.
Although
well,
maybe they created the coronavirus and they have the antidote.
Well, they were saying too, like I've heard that Cuban, because of isolation, and it's all of the ridiculous rhetoric that comes out,
Of course it is.
and the well, this is like years ago leading up to this, which
Right.
why it could have an ounce of a grain of truth to
Right.
it, but because they've been so isolated, they've had to work with other means, and they've found great advances in cancer and curing cancer. All right, great. All this shit comes out. All right, great. Okay, you're more open now, Cuba. You've got the internet, Cuba.
Yeah.
Let's start capitalizing on it, Cuba. I know you're communists. I know it's a communism country, but the leaders aren't communist. They never are. That's the rub.
Yeah.
They'll get the money. So if you have all these secrets,
Yep.
cash in, baby.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Proof is in the pudding.
I have my own philosophy. I believe. Well, I don't know who started it, but I believe the FAA is blaming the coronavirus on drones.
No. All right. No. All right. No. Hold on. Come on. Let's be serious. No, really, because did you see the guys at the protest?
The UFDA whatever protest.
Bardwell
Yeah.
got sick.
Yeah.
Bachgrinder got sick.
I think the FAA started the coronavirus so they
They implanted it in the Rotor Riot and the UFDA crew, and it just
Yeah.
spread.
and then they're blaming drones for everything else, for crying out loud. Might as well blame the virus for it.
Yeah. They're carriers.
Yes, that's it. That's how they're transporting it.
Everybody's got to take a deep breath of coronavirus.
Yeah, suck it in. Take in the virus. Embrace it. Embrace it.
You've been very, very quiet. We have co-opted your show.
Oh no, that's okay. I'm just listening. I
I
know.
never
that-
get to talk to Mark because he doesn't know how to tell time.
Oh,
Never did.
time is. Mark always says time is just a number.
No, time is relative.
According to who? Einstein?
No, according to me. relative to whether or not I'm looking at it.
So, are you guys
time or
going to
not.
go out and fly today, or what?
If I get some quads working, I might. But that's
Yeah.
that's the other rub. I haven't flown so long. I'm kind of like I'm gonna go fly where nobody else is because I don't want anybody watching.
Mark, do you ever just go out and fly for fun, your Mavic 2 Zoom or anything, or no? Just
That's
just
not
for-
fun. That's not fun, Paul.
It depends. There have been moments where I've had what I want to start doing actually is I want to start flying the areas I'm flying the FPV. And in some respects, I almost want to set it up so that I can take an image, zoom in on the spot where I'm flying the quad, and get a few shots of the quad flying by and stuff, and splice all that together into the video. So I have a kind of a big orbit of the
Sure.
area I'm flying, and then find ways to change
Make
up the video a little
make,
bit. You know?
make the video look like it's a multi-camera shot.
Yeah, something to that effect. So
Speaking of multi-cameras, how'd you like my 360 view on
yeah,
that?
I like
Isn't that crazy?
That is cool. That is cool.
Yeah, but I've seen what I know what you're going for, Mark. I've seen that done before, and it's a great effect
So
because you can like zoom into the spot and then like swoop into the fast flight of the FPV and kind of do the reverse of it.
Exactly. So yeah, I like the trying to get a creative way of blending the two together.
You almost need a two pilot though, don't you?
Well, I mean,
No.
I'll fly kind of the course a little bit with the call it a course, the area with the Mavic 2 Zoom, and then what I'll do is I'll
Just set it to loiter.
yeah, and I'll just perch it or have it do an orbit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, and technically, yes, that's illegal because now I'll be flying two drones at the same time. But I have full faith in the Mavic 2 Zoom that it'll stay orbiting for about a minute or two while I fly a few loops or something like that. As long as I don't crash them into each other, I should be fine. Now, have you ever had issues with signal loss between either one, Paul?
Just stay away from each other for a little,
Yeah.
like keep like 20, 30 feet distance. I mean, there is there is signal issues between both RC Connect and VTX.
Uh-huh.
So if I mean, the RC, what interferes with the VTX is the Wi-Fi signal.
Right. Well, the thing with the Mavic 2 Zoom is it's not Wi-Fi.
Okay, so if
It's
you're not connected to your phone via Wi-Fi or anything like that.
No.
Okay, all right. So then you shouldn't have any video.
It's a direct plug.
Direct
All right,
wire.
so you shouldn't have any video issue that way. Well, is it an RC link that gives you the video then, or
Whatever OcuSync is, Paul would be able to talk about that more than I would.
That's a Wi-Fi protocol.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So then you would have so the idea is whatever bandwidth that's running on your
Yeah.
VTX is close to that.
Yeah.
You want your VTX, your video is far away from that signal, whatever bandwidth.
What you want to do is probably you'd want to select your channel and not leave it on auto.
Mhm.
Go up there and either check
And then check,
select
yeah.
the 5.8 band, because most Wi-Fi commonly is down on the 2.4 band.
Uh-huh.
So
Well, Paul, you remember that psychiatric building that we dove?
Mhm. Yeah, we were okay
you flew
there.
around my quad, no problem. So
But luckily, we probably didn't. We weren't close to any channels. Like I was far
Right.
away from my video, and
Right.
it didn't mess with the
Right.
with the RC link.
well,
the 2.4.
let's be perfectly honest here. If I'm gonna want one to crash, I want the quad to crash, not the Mavic.
yeah, definitely, yeah,
So which one is gonna lose the signal? The quad, then, right?
The quad.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. You'll either have video or RC link issues potentially. I'm not saying you will,
Mhm.
because I've flown around Phantoms and got real close. I've flown around you and got lucky, but I have had some video issues sometimes where
Right.
we were close enough where it kind of like got a little wonky and I got away.
Mhm.
And I know it was coming from the the DJI.
Well, I know that Herman and those guys, when Herman goes out when they all are flying,
Mhm.
and Herman turns his transmitter on his Phantom 4 Pro, everybody else is like,
Mhm.
It's like an EMP. It blows
Yep.
everybody out.
Yep. So
Yeah, well, and see, we haven't really figured out DJI. My buddy John has a DJI goggles and
Yeah.
set up on his quads, and I'm nervous to fly when he's flying because I don't know all the numbers, and I'm not going to take my time to look at the numbers. It's just you fly, have fun, I'll fly.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron said that the last time he flew with the guys, he was blowing them out of the air, causing
Yes.
them to lose signal.
Yes.
And I was told, I thought it would be the other way around. The DJI
Well,
would be blowing you out. You know.
Again, it depends on the signal, who's
Yes,
stronger
yep.
and who's weaker,
Yeah.
and you can be on either side of that gambit.
in which band you're on too.
Yep.
Because most guys that fly cinematic drones leave it on auto, and it automatically selects whatever. But you can go in there and do it manually.
Right. Well, that's like, so the auto is, I think, like Gropner's hot swapping protocol, where it's going to look at a spectrum within a spectrum, and it's going to automatically select this best one, and then, oh, that's no good anymore. Then here it is, and it's going to do it so fast that you're not going to see it because of the refresh rate. But that's dangerous because you could tip to one end of the band that's closest to you on either your video or your RC link and screw you up.
Right.
Yeah. Who knows? But
Well, dude, don't be afraid. Go out to Metzler today. They're all flying at noon.
I plan on flying. I just got to make sure I got a quad working. That's all. I know I have one. It's one of the. I went out last weekend. I went to go fly. I thought I had two of them working. One turned out to be the ESC, or what we think is the ESC, and the other one I plugged it in, and damn pigtail popped off.
Oh, that's not.
And I didn't have my soldering iron with me, so I went out there. You know, I didn't go to Metzler. I just went behind one of the schools nearby. But I was so jazzed to get up and fly, and then I couldn't fly, and then that was it for the day. Didn't have time to mess around and get that going. But hopefully I'll do that today. And I'll let you know this. Guess what I am waiting for from China?
What's that?
Crossfire.
Oh, you're going Crossfire.
I bought the Tango 2 and the package of 5 receivers.
Pro, where the gimbals flip. Nice.
Yeah. Well, the only reason why I'm going with this, I did not like the X-Lite. I don't like the gamepad style, but I got to say, I watched a lot of videos, and Bardwell, who doesn't like it, says it does not feel like a gamepad. He goes, it feels like a full-size controller in your hand, and that you could supposedly pinch.
Have you had one in your hands yet?
No, I'm trusting his opinion on that, but I just figured with the protocol, and if I'm going to do it, I just got $135, got me 5 receivers and 5 Immortal T antennas as well, so I can outfit all my quads with it. The only thing that he said that he didn't like about it is that, and that's why he didn't go to it completely, is that it's not going to take care of his whole fleet. Like you can't.
You can't do tiny whoops.
You can't do tiny whoops. Well, that's what I'll have the Tyrannus for. But I just liked the sleekness of it. The fact that maybe it's going to feel less like a game controller, yet have the compactability. I mean, the folding gimbals, the folding antenna, the low profile switches. You know me, I'm going to break those switches. No, I'm going to break the ones on my Tyrannus eventually. So
here's a reason. Here's a reason why you should go today. John has one.
Oh,
John's got all the cool toys.
John's got
the money.
This is the guy that owns Delmonico's, Paul. But you know what? He's cool about it, though. You know, he's such a down to earth. He's such a down to earth.
He lets anybody fly his drones. He goes, when he first got the DJI system, he would not leave you alone. You gotta fly this. You gotta go. All right, I'll fly it. But yeah, it's amazing.
JDS says he's got a Crossfire in the box still. But yeah, I ordered it 2 weeks ago, and I'm waiting on the controller and the receivers. So,
I gotta say, I like it. The only problem is I'd have to go all the Crossfire, and it's not that big of a deal. But it just, hey, I got some time.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, we'll have to get together, and when it ever comes
6 feet apart.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I ain't gonna lie to you, Paul. I was a little hesitant to bring that up because I'm like, I wonder if he's gonna go for that or he's gonna be like, oh, you should have bought that. That's garbage. You know?
Well, all
But-
of this
yeah.
is just experimental,
Right.
and what I like, you might not like, and what you
Right.
like, I might not.
And,
So
and
it
that's
doesn't.
what I do trust that. So I don't know why I felt that way, but it was kind of funny. But it's funny. I really don't have interest in going far distances, at least not yet.
See, I'm not into the long range game either. I'm nervous enough just flying around where I'm flying around
Exactly.
and losing it there.
I don't need
Losing it
walking
a mile and a half out would
Yeah.
really piss me off.
Yes. So, but the fact that it's it looks like it's a protocol that's here to stay, and that it's got a good signal because let's face it, I do like to go around objects and stuff.
Yep.
If it gives me a stronger signal in the space that I'm
Yeah,
still
I'm all
flying,
for that too.
then I'm okay with that. What I need to do is figure out because I lose video signal, and I'm wondering maybe I have my antennas on my goggles oriented incorrectly because there are times I lose signal. And
All right.
I don't
First
like
of all, the very ridiculous, stupid question. And I don't mean this at
no,
all to be noobish. Are you sure you got the right antennas with SMA and RSMA? And
they're the one. They're the ones who had
either
me
with the
order.
pin or without the pin. Is it in with the one with the pin and all that junk? Because
They're the ones you had me order.
I know, but we do find that Mr. Brown gave you the wrong freaking ESCs, remember? And I was puzzled as to why does it look different?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's and man, it's such an easy, stupid mistake to make.
Okay.
It just is. Just make sure that on your antennas, on your goggles,
Mhm.
that if you don't have diversity,
I have
that
diversity.
you've got that they have diversity. That's going to help you. I don't run diversity, but I don't have much. I usually don't have video issues. I don't know why.
Yeah, you have. I got you.
But I run an aerial out of my goggles out of the LaForge, and I don't even have it diversified. So it's just one omnidirectional.
So it looks like this when you have yours on.
Exactly. Right. I don't have
Without
the
the
other
module.
without the other module, without the patch on it. Right. So mine looks exactly like that. I even have the 90 bend in it and everything. So it is SMA with the pin in it.
Right.
Now the next thing would be is the setup of your antennas in relation to it on the quad and in relation to the RC antennas on the quad. Because sometimes if you put like the RC antennas and then the little graphic, but you have it like this, not going to work. If you have it like this being your VTX and this being your RC link, if you have it like that, it's going to work way better.
Okay.
For both of them.
It's good to know because a lot of
however you place that out the back of the quad.
Yeah, a lot of your TPU prints will separate the receiver antennas and have them go on either side of
because what you're doing with the receiver antennas is if you do it like this, that's why you have the Immortal T's and the Immortal L's.
Yeah.
Because you're creating that field, a wider field with a smaller node to not hit.
Well, they've been saying that you want the Immortal T's to be vertical now as opposed to horizontal, which is the way most people set it up.
But remember, you're flying a quad, it's going to be direction. So it doesn't really, really matter. I mean, it does because if you're flying,
the dead zones are at the ends. It depends on how often you hit that dead zone.
And notice too, a lot of guys and gals, do you know where they put those Immortal T's in relation to on the quad?
Yeah, usually on the back. And
no,
right across.
Wrong.
A lot of them. No, wait. Where do they put them, or where should they put them?
Well,
they put them right on the frame, unfortunately, and usually in the back or on one of the arms. That's what I've seen.
Okay, so here's what I've learned from Quinasti, Steele's friend, and from Steele. You put the Immortal T, or if you're doing long range, on the front of the quad, because when you fly your distance and you go to turn around, now the antenna is facing you instead of having the carbon fiber between you. So as you go away, you're pushing the limit, and you're going to reach that limit and be afraid of that limit before it goes away. And then when you turn around, it's going to improve because now you're pointing the antenna back at you.
Right.
Number two, put it on the on the bottom of the quad, not on the top of the quad, because you're flying.
Right.
So those two placements of long range, and I don't do long range, but I at least paid attention to that, will up your game significantly.
Go ahead, Paul. Do the song. They all want you to sing.
Oh, here it comes.
What? I
The
gotta
puppets.
go. Just a minute. I gotta go
Let me
get
see.
them.
I'm putting mute on. I know.
Yeah.
I got to mute
Now-
him, not me.
No, I don't think you can mute him. Now, Paul, this is the way I've been setting up my goggles, where I have one of the one of the antennas pointing forwards and the other one up.
Yep.
But
That's fine.
Doesn't that make the dead zone project out?
Yes, but guess where you don't have a dead zone, which is why you have the other antenna.
Above me. But why wouldn't I put it like that?
You
Where it
could.
goes out to the side.
It could.
Because now I'm projecting forwards as well still. The
You
dead
could. You're
zone is
still,
to the
but
side.
think of it. Think of it. No matter where you're going,
Right.
you're still going to find that dead
Yeah,
zone. But I see
but
what you're saying. I see what you're
because
saying. That you're
if
going
I
to
have
fly
it
in
like-
front of you,
Yeah, if I'm flying in front of me, it looks like I'm projecting that dead zone right in front of me. You
right?
know,
But
with that.
again, that other
then we're just-
omnidirectional is
yeah.
going to hopefully take care of that.
Yeah.
And because too, with a quad, you're never going to get
Right.
complete
100%.
coverage.
Hey,
You're
you.
only hoping to stay out of or fly through that dead zone for half a second, and it be a nominal.
Good
Right.
morning, Hugh.
You made it just in time for the song. Go ahead, Paul. Get it out of your system.
Mana do 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 do. Mana do 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 do. Mana do 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 do. Mana.
Good job, man. How you doing,
Paul,
guys?
Is it safe?
you are spot on every time pitch wise with that. You understand that, right?
It's
As a
said you-
music teacher, you understand.
Yes. You should be proud.
I was actually thinking about recording the whole thing so that I could just hit the button and it would play.
Dude,
It,
you know,
it wouldn't be the same, Paul. It wouldn't be the same.
it wouldn't be, but you know what I could do? I'm gonna give
There
you
you
a
go.
beat track.
There
I might
you
have to
go.
do something. Yeah.
Put some
A little
beats with it,
EDM or
yeah.
something like that behind it.
Yeah, audience participation would be good. Yep, yep.
Hey, you get a whole crew going and get just he'll put it all, splice it all together.
Well, last night I did
Spice
it.
Boys.
Late on Roger's late night show, not late night, but his Saturday night show. Andrew came on kind of late, like about 10:30 or
Yeah.
so, and Ksenia was there. And when I did it, she was dancing in the background. It was great.
Oh Lord.
You got to grab that little video and make a GIF out of it.
Yeah, it was good. If you go back and you watch Roger's show last night, later on, I said because they were teasing about the puppets, and I said, well, only if Ksenia gives me a thumbs up, and all of a sudden the thumb comes like this. And so I did it, and then I said, if you want to see it again, put a thumbs up. And of course, Andrew's going crazy, and she gives a thumbs up again. And then she gets right behind Andrew, and she's jiving to the music, and it was good. The Muppets enjoyed it immensely.
They like to have people to work with, right?
And Mark is speechless. So
No,
Hugh-
I told you I had a breakthrough the other day, and I realized why I don't like puppets. And I don't know. Well, Paul, you may or may not remember. Maybe you're just young enough to not know. There was this show back in the day called Kukla, Fran, and Ollie.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
There were these
Yeah.
really disturbing
They
marionettes and
were.
puppets, and I used to have nightmares. I'm not joking. I used to have nightmares of those things dancing around in my room while I was trying to sleep. So
Wow.
now whenever I see puppets and clowns and marionettes, I just want to beat the shit out of them.
We were.
Feel the same way
I
about
I
clowns.
remember that show, but it was very much like this other thing that I was tortured with when I was in French class. So we used to watch this thing
Caillou?
called- No,
Caillou?
not Caillou. That was something else too. No, no, it's almost worse than Caillou because it was in French and I didn't understand it, but we were still berated with it. And it was called La Na Na Na. It was this
It's
dancing
almost like
pine-
phenomena.
Yeah, but now
It was this dancing pineapple, Muppet-esque pineapple
I think
from,
I know what
France.
you're talking about.
And in some of the sub like cartoon, sub shows in it were the Les Scolettes, and they were this dancing marionettes. Yeah, go ahead. It's
Sounds tittillating.
it's
Please
scary.
carry on.
Ugh. And I didn't understand a damn thing because it was all in French, and I was there for French.
Oh, yes, I remember this.
La na na na.
Let's see if I can
Do,
bring it up.
do, do. Oh, I thought you said phenomena. Sorry, couldn't help
No.
myself. I'm
No.
like Pavlov's dog now. What can I say?
So, Hugh, how are you this morning?
Oh, it's
I'm doing all right, Paul. Up and at 'em and ready to face the world. The sun's not even up here yet. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's starting to peak up. So what, Hugh, was it going to be good flying weather for you or?
I know that's a good question. My wife's off for the weekend, so
Is this it?
Yes,
hanging around.
yes.
Oh, there
Oh
you
God,
go.
yes.
And can you hear? Will you hear this if I
I
play?
think
it?
so.
Oh wait, will you hear it? It's actually streaming in this.
No.
No, you can't hear that. It's good
Can't hear
because it's pretty disturbing.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what we watched
I
in French
actually,
class.
I actually remember that too. I remember that now that.
Mm.
Yeah, but still. So there's deep-rooted issues I have regarding marionettes, puppets, and clowns, Paul. So just understand that.
we had
That's
good
why
French Canadian cartoons. None of that
Yes,
imported
yeah.
shit, man.
Yeah, that's why that's why I'm gonna have a gallon of
If
kerosene.
Caillou is any standard to that, man, holy
Oh,
crap.
Caillou. I never understood that.
There's an adult version Caillou out there, right? And it
Heard
is
that.
extremely disturbing.
I've
Oh,
heard
Lord.
that.
So it's like the whole
Is he-
scenario.
is he
It's the
like
whole
Hannibal-
scenario, but it's Caillou as an adult, like 20-ish, still at home.
Is he like Hannibal Lecter in this series?
No, but it's like my wife and I tried to watch the first episode, and it was
Yeah.
so disturbing we couldn't get through it. It was like,
Why so bad?
yeah, it was like, God damn it, I don't know. It was just you gotta watch it,
Oh,
and then
cursing
was just-
Caillou.
it was yeah. So it was like everything you wanted to say to Caillou when he was a kid. Now the cartoon is about you saying that to Caillou as an adult.
Yeah, Caillou Unleashed.
Yes. Oh, it is disturbing.
That's funny.
Oh man.
Yes, that's right. My wife just came on another. Why are you still here? She's reciting lines from it. Why are you still here?
I'm still blowing away. Everybody's up so early.
Because we
Yeah.
got nothing to do for the
Never
next 4
watched
weeks, Hugh.
Speak
That's
for yourself.
true.
Speak for yourself, buddy. Some of us still have to go to work this week.
Hey, so what's happening with the whole drone program with you? And I know freaking CNY Drones canceled a couple of weeks ago too. So
Right,
what the
well,
hell are
they-
they doing? They got nothing.
Well, no, they didn't cancel.
They got-
canceled.
well, they
from
got canceled.
the
Yeah, I know.
Polytechnic. As it is now, I got to finish up the make sure everything's tightened up with the water towers, and we're going to store them because we got to start working on the
the
Metro
next
one now. So, but they plan on running we are still going to run it apparently, but in October, which
Uh-huh.
my seniors can't participate because but we're still going to build this year if we go to school at some point. We're still going to build and get ready for October, but then we got to turn around and start building for April again. So it'll be a busy year next year for the kids at least. Which will be
Yeah. Oh well. Did you guys as a group? I know. I don't mean to ask, but I'm so
Go ahead.
curious. Did you guys as a group do anything about the NPRM? Because it was the first time that I had
What is
shot
it?
back anything to
What
Lisa.
is that? What is that? What are you talking about?
For the notice for
Oh,
road.
that. Oh, you're talking about the FAA thing. You
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
said the letter so quickly. I
Oh,
wasn't.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we put with the links and stuff and requesting people to respond. They responded. I responded my own. So yeah, they responded because they know it's going to affect the program. I mean,
Do you know if they put it, because I usually still get all the emails from Lisa.
yeah, I
but-
don't think that I think
She
she had
should
a
have-
response. I think I saw a response that she typed up, or she may have read it to us and then sent it because I remember.
But what I wanted was I wanted her to leverage the power to get more people to put in something, to go to the teachers. Like I had several of my kids. This is the first time I had a couple of my kids that care.
Mhm.
Go and do
Right.
the response, on the FAA. It was a real simple task. They put their name in and whatever they wanted to, as far as, information wise, but they made a response. And I was hoping to crowdsource that using, her.
She put feelers out. I know that she but nothing, no big campaign or anything that I can think of.
It should have been. And if I were there, I would have been pushing that. And I even broke my silence to them because of that, and sent out a couple of emails personally to them, and then over the internet say, hey, come on, get on that.
Yeah.
What do you mean broke your silence? Are you not supposed to comment?
No. Let's put it this way: Paul and CNY drones don't see eye to eye.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, we do. It just, I believe in the mission. It's just power struggle, and I lost because I'm a big quitter. Because I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to be put up with the ridiculousness that I was put through. Sorry, I don't mean to get all spicy.
No,
Whatever.
okay. It's not a big deal.
Well, it's like that in life every time. Every time you see something really good and it starts to go the wrong way, it's just like, you just shake your head. It's like, what the hell?
Well, through CNY drones, they hooked me up with some guy from Syracuse University who may be, he's going to try to get it published in Syracuse.com because we know what a nice journalistic platform that is. But
so let me tell you about that, because I still know. So our good friend Grabowski has done that, been there, and I have also done that and been there. I was even with
no, this has nothing to do with CNY drones.
Oh
no, this guy just called CNY drones and wanted to talk to them about education and drones and such, and they hooked him up with me, and he interviewed me, and hopefully this will go on because I said he goes, do you got a minute to talk? And he started bringing up the FAA. I said, I got a minute. I said, do you have an hour?
yeah, I got more than an hour.
By the time he was done with me, or should I say I was done with him, he's like, I think I got more than I bargained for. I said, you sure as hell did.
Yeah.
So, no, but it was a good conversation.
Now, is it gonna? But here's the next thing: is it gonna go anywhere? Because Grabowski, myself, and I think even Bob at one point talked with Newhouse and talked with all these people from Newhouse and from Syracuse University, and it only went into the student portfolio.
Yeah,
well, exactly. It didn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
and that's that's.
Well, I told the guy. That's what I was told the guy. I said, listen, please, because I even gave him my response to the FAA because he was like, he goes, I'd love to see your response. I said, it's yours, as far as I'm concerned. So I sent it to him, and I said, I'd love to see what you do with this. In other words, even if it's just going into your portfolio, I'd like to read what you have to say. And he said he would share it with me. I said,
when did you do that?
What? Just the other day.
Oh, cool.
And he said it was on Friday. I was in my driveway on my phone talking to him for half an hour, 45 minutes. And then he says, I'm going to try to get into Syracuse.com as well. I said, well, that'll be interesting then, because, Syracuse.com is not necessarily known for its well-published journalism, if you know what I mean. It's usually hate mail is all that.
It's a rag.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah. So I said, well, if you get it in there, great. But I said, I appreciate it if you did push it, because this is important stuff. He didn't realize the stuff that was going on and everything. So I said, this is
nobody does. Nobody does because it's so niche.
Yeah. I mean, he even agrees the only stories you hear about drones are bad stories. You don't hear any good stories. And the bad stories aren't even true.
Aren't even true. They're not even grounded in reality. They're supposition at best. It's a huge reality distortion around drones.
Hey,
you know what? Another thing I thought of too that's gonna ruin everybody's day about drone delivery, and it's one of the things I should have put in my response to the NPRM besides safety management and mitigation. Micro weather.
Oh yeah.
So one of the things that they're supposed to be doing is learning how to predict, as well as we do in meteorology, micro weather patterns in cities for drones to fly. Oh yeah, when it snows or rains, you ain't getting your packages. That's why it's not going to work, by the way.
You were
It
gonna
kills
say
me.
you were gonna ask you something, Paul?
Yeah, Hugh, just out of curiosity, I saw you put a band on your arm. What is that for pain or?
Yeah, tennis elbow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of my many issues.
Oh, tennis player, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm awesome. Should see me go. Too much time on the keyboard, I'm afraid.
Well,
Yeah.
Paul, you may or may not know, but Hugh used to fly ultralight.
I know. I heard his story about how he was
Yeah.
dragged across the asphalt the other day.
The
Yeah,
backstory. Every superhero needs one.
That's right. Your origin story.
yeah. I think that's awesome.
What? That he was dragged across the asphalt?
No,
I
Yeah,
don't
right.
think so.
Gee,
That he
Paul,
was-
that's
Thanks,
That he
Paul.
was-
Mr. Murray. That's just me.
God, gee,
Heartless.
that
that's
he
cold-hearted.
was flying ultralights like that.
Apparently, he wasn't flying ultralights, being dragged across. I mean,
I was
come on.
crashing ultralights
Well,
if we're trying to be
they-
direct.
Don't they say the landing is the toughest part?
It is. It is.
It hurts the most. At least he knows that.
I think
That's why I said, screw
pilots
this.
have referred to landings as just controlled crashes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will return. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh god.
So yesterday, my wife and son went out to get pop soda, as you guys call it, and I guess the shelves were fairly bare at the pharmacy
Yeah,
where they get them.
yeah, a lot of it's not the toilet paper. Everything else is starting to go now. So
Yeah,
the next thing that's on the shelf that you can get to hoard is going to be the next thing to disappear from the shelves. And I don't get it. It's not like you're supposed to be a recluse shut in. They don't want people to just stay in their houses. You should get out. Sunshine, air is good for this. You just want to be 6-8 feet away from people. Just don't go elbow to elbow. But yet people make it sound like you're going to be like literally sequestered and not allowed outside. It's like it's crazy.
yeah. I didn't expect
Yeah.
much change in my way of life. Like I'm at home all the time anyway, so social distancing by choice.
Yeah, I don't like people anyway, so I usually keep my distance.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I'm a proper
I'm-
misanthrope.
I'm going to be fairly safe because I've got a shipment coming today from Amazon of four cases of this. So I have 24
Oh, geez.
cup of noodles, very veggie, chicken flavor.
Nice.
Now it's currently unavailable, but I got mine.
There you
There
go.
you go.
And it comes some sort of freeze dried, so we don't have to worry about
Yep.
dates, right, Paul?
Yep. You just
Not like
lift,
the fish sticks, right?
lift up that lid and put in the boiling water and put the lid back down and wait. I think it's a couple
You
of
should-
minutes. And,
Lynn should be proud of you.
yeah.
There you go. Well, I actually bought a couple of cases of lasagna, like Chef Boyardee lasagna.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Not recently, but I have them, right? So I just kind of have them in the pantry for days when I don't feel like cooking or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Lynn is the one that kind of opened my eyes. I like to Amazon shop all the time anyway, but it's usually electronics or other things. And
Yeah, same here.
she says, "Oh, there's food too." I said, "There is."
Tuna. I get cases of tuna.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I
Yeah,
keep
but
putting that stuff in the cart.
it's the mayonnaise that can be a problem.
Yeah,
Well,
mayonnaise
especially-
you need fresh.
Yeah, especially when it's like 2 years old, Paul.
Yeah, I know. I know.
What you need is some kind of a chemical mayonnaise substitute,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's close to St. Patrick's Day and all, but having green mayonnaise is not being festive. It's not a good idea.
Well, I always attribute it to the fact that you have sweet relish in the mayonnaise. So I thought that's the reason.
Wait, you sure that was relish in the mayonnaise?
Well, that's what I thought.
It might have just been mayonnaise. Yeah.
Well, I should have been tipped off when the fish sticks, when he cut into them, they were gray.
Do you know, it's funny,
Well-
Paul. I was making fish for my wife and son last night, And I was thinking about you. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, are these things gray? No, they're looking good. Okay, they're all right.
Well, to be fair, they don't use the best part of the fish in a fish stick anyway.
No,
So,
no.
so it's there is grayish meat in some fish, but yeah.
They're like the sausages of fish world, right? Fish
Yeah.
sticks. It's all lips and assholes, even though fish don't have any lips or assholes that I know of.
Yeah, I pulled out of the yesterday evening before Roger's show. I thought I need a little something to eat, so I went and got those envelopes of cup of soup things,
Yeah, they're good.
So the box still had dust on it, and I poured it into the thing, and it's supposed to be tomato, but it looked like I poured in the mix for making brown gravy, and I put the hot water in it, and it didn't taste quite the way I thought it should, but I ate it anyway because I'm a trooper, and I didn't get sick. So, but you'd think with the powder it'd be all right. I don't know if there's a shelf life on. Is there a shelf life on like powdered milk and stuff like that?
Not if it's dry, I don't think.
I would imagine it's pretty darn long.
Yeah, I'm sure anything's got a shelf life, even canned food, let's be honest. But
the universe has a shelf life, for God's sakes, right?
Yeah, I mean, but it's just a matter of how long and moisture. I mean, if you get any dampness inside of the bag for that powdered milk, then you have a problem. But I think the fact that it's dry and it should be fine. But I would assume that eventually it'll grow mold if you let it,
Yeah.
But I'm not a big powdered milk fan. I'd sooner just drink water.
My mother used to keep it in for emergencies.
Yeah,
and she still keeps it in for baking, I guess. Like there's some recipes that call
no,
for it.
my mother had it when we were growing up, and it was I literally would ask her for water instead of
Yeah, I didn't like it either, but
it was
occasionally
awful.
we had it.
Well,
The irony, my grandfather was a dairy farmer. Seriously.
I've heard of people using though powdered milk, even like in coffee, if they want.
I used to do that too. Like a
Maybe-
low fat substitute, right?
Yeah.
Like for a creamer of some sort.
Yeah.
Someone will
Tastes
get
like
it.
shit.
Yeah, probably turn the milk, the coffee gray, right?
It does. It's like a blue color. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
pleasant.
why I can't use like people use skim milk in their coffee. It turns it into this grayish,
Yeah, it's not nice.
muddy
But
look.
when
Gotta
I used to be
have the-
chasing that perfect body of mine,
Yeah,
I would try anything, right?
yeah.
And I'm like, fuck it, give me the cream. Give me 20% cream. Come on.
Oh
Bring it
shoot,
on,
yeah.
bring it on.
We half and half, buddy. That's all the way.
That's
Just,
what I'm talking about.
but I don't use a lot, but I don't drink maybe about 2-3 cups a day, if that. So
I drink 3 of these a day, so
Yeah.
I guess that's a lot.
well,
These aren't really cups.
I'm about to go. I'm actually gonna in a few seconds excuse myself, and I'm gonna make it literally. My best cup of coffee. My favorite coffee is from a percolator, and I have an electric one, so it's better than an automatic drip. It's better than a Keurig. And I'm gonna go bring that pot up. I'm gonna put it right here on my desk and let it perk, so I don't have to get off my butt to go get another cup of coffee.
Yeah, the percolator. You hear him going.
Yep, I grew up listening to that sound. Yeah,
That's a good sound.
yes, it is. And I can drink my coffee black from time to time, but I just like to take that edge off of the bitterness sometimes. So now I'm salivating over coffee. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. So Hugh, what's your plans for this morning?
My plan is to spend quality time with my friend Paul Murray. That's
There
my
you
plan
go.
today.
There you go. Well,
That's the best plan I've had all week.
the other thing too is, our friend Roger is going to be coming on here in a couple hours,
Yeah.
but he's been coming on earlier.
Yeah, he had. Well, I mean, once the time changed, it threw everybody off, right?
Yep.
I don't think anybody's adjusted to it yet. I'm still up earlier than I normally would be.
Well, Roger's show went late last night. I excused myself about 11:10 last night,
Wow.
and because the after show lasted, because Andrew was there and John Coopy was there and myself and Roger, and and finally John Coopy bowed out, and then I thought maybe Roger and Andrew wanted to discuss things, so I bowed out, and they were still going when I left at about 11:10.
I was trying to join Claude's stream yesterday, but he had all kinds of drama going on. And I went pass.
Yeah, Claude's stream seems to bring in a lot of drama.
It used to be very good. It used to be a really good stream. Like in the afternoons, he'd have all kinds of us drone pilots on, and we used to have good conversations. And then I took a 6-month break, and then when I came back, his channel had totally changed to become a more of a support channel and I don't know, something different.
Yeah, it's evolved, and it isn't. I have not been on his channel in quite some time, just because it wasn't anything of my interest.
Yeah, exactly. I think he gets a little pissed off about that people don't come over and spend more time with him. But I mean,
is what it is.
What are you going to do?
But
anyway,
and I think too that, just in my opinion, just between you and I think he tries a little too hard. He keeps changing his backgrounds and doing stuff and this and that, and just focus on the people and the topic.
There you go.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm
about
back.
the people.
Lewis,
Isn't that right, Lewis
Sorry,
P.
I didn't
Floyd?
realize
It's
there's
all about the
talking
people.
This is me going off.
Oh, I got one ear to my wife so that she's talking to me and I'm
that's
hearing
okay.
you.
That's okay.
Sorry.
She's welcome to join in.
Sorry.
Oh, she'll rip you a new one, Paul. You don't want her to join you.
Sorry.
Well, wish her a good morning from
I was
us
just
all.
giving the sports report.
Paul Murray says good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
Lewis
just
P.
doing
Floyd
the
needs a
sports
Spitfire to
report
keep him
for
in
no
line.
sports.
That's for sure.
She was just yes, I do need a Spitfire to keep me alive.
That's right.
She's yelling about sports. What the hell are these people going to be talking about for the next 2 months? They're all canceled.
The
Oh, I know.
1984
They're gonna
World
look. They're gonna
Series.
the 1984 World Series. Let's watch that again.
Did anybody watch the Stephen Colbert show the other
I'm
night?
excited. I can't
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it?
Can't
It
wait to
was
see who's gonna win.
weird. Like,
Yeah,
strange.
so like Stephen Colbert did it.
It felt like End of Times, dude. It really did. I didn't
Freaking,
like it.
I know,
freaked me out.
freaking, like all of them are doing it. All the shows are canceled.
So, Paul, if you haven't seen it, basically it was a no audience rehearsal, and they published that as the show, like with show notes and like people sitting like
Yeah,
his
his
staff sitting in
cast
there.
just watch it.
It was. Really
I don't
weird.
know which one I watched, but there was a monologue. I think it was
Did they do both?
no, there was. Got like 3 conversations going on. No, they didn't. They had his cast sitting in the audience that had the like this, because I thought we were thinking, geez, I wonder if they're going to do Foley and laugh tracks.
Yeah.
Like
They
you know,
didn't. It was like really dead.
it was
Yeah.
eerie. It
was
was
weird.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah,
That
I
was
saw I
creepy.
saw a show the other morning. One of the morning shows, and it was a great big. Usually on a Friday, they have live audiences and stuff in
Yeah.
the news show. The morning news show, and all of a sudden they came back from the break, and it showed the automatic cameras doing the sweep in, and here it was all people with headphones and everything. There was no audience, but they were clapping and
Yeah,
cheering.
they were doing. Yeah, they were playing the audience.
Yeah.
Here you go, guys. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but maybe this will bring back some memories. I don't know if you hear that perking in the background there.
You gonna sing to us, Mark?
No.
It's his
Here we go.
percolator.
Do you hear that? No, can't hear that, huh?
I can hear it.
Ah, that's a beautiful sound. Beautiful sound.
A little.
What was it? Beep beep beep.
No.
Yeah. So I figure Colbert is like the canary in the coal mine. I said if he can laugh while Trump is destroying America, and he's not laughing when COVID-19 hits the ground, shit's serious. It's like, oh God, Stephen Colbert's not even laughing. We're in trouble. I honestly though, I don't think we're in that much trouble. I just think it's economically and
Economically,
but otherwise, I don't know.
And again, it's not about me. Well, I'm getting close to that. Maybe it's more about Paul, less about you younger folks.
Yeah.
The idea is to keep it from spreading to the population that would be more susceptible
Exactly.
to it. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
that I get, because the kids
Well,
were
you know,
all my students were going, why would we be closing school? It's not going to affect us. I said, yeah, but you have grandparents you go visit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, well, that's,
Do you want to kill them?
yeah,
Huh?
inadvertently.
Well, you know, it used to be my joke is I used to said when I retired, I turned into a retired hermit. And so now it's come full circle because you have to be a hermit.
Yeah.
You know, when you get to be 68 years old, it's
Yeah.
Yeah. I caught the tail end of your conversation. I just read what Night Train wrote in the chat. I'm not a big watcher of sports. Like, I grew up, I played football, I played all kinds. I love playing sports. I enjoy sports. I like being active in the sports. I'm not big at watching them. So not only do I not watch sports, but to have sports that are reruns at this point is even like,
That's horrible. Unless they're like, like 92 World Series sort of thing. That might be.
I'm right there with you, Mark. Back in the good old days when we weren't all crazy, and I would run across like the MSN, the Madison Sports Square Garden, whatever channel on cable, and they were playing like an old Yankees game from just. It's like, well, people sit and watch this. It's like, it was like super old Yankees, like from the 80s. It was like,
right.
Goodness.
I don't need to. I don't need. If I'm
gonna watch sports, it's gonna be more of ESPN Ocho.
yeah.
The obscure sports quarterly.
Mark says if he's gonna watch anything in sports, it's got to be from the Ocho.
What is that?
I want to watch dodgeball.
You've never seen Dodgeball.
You've never seen
the movie.
Dodgeball?
Oh, Dodgeball.
The movie.
The
Yes.
movie.
You're right, Cotton.
You're right, Cotton. You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
You're absolutely right, Cotton.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Fucking say the same thing. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
You can dodge your wrench. I remember it.
You're about as useful as a poopy flavored lollipop. Sorry.
Mark, it was supper time last night. We're sitting around the table, and I was thinking about your tissue strategy. And I was
sorry.
I was like, should I tell my wife and son this? And I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah, not a dinner. Not a dinner.
That was funny. That was
Not
pretty
a dinner.
funny, man.
Not a dinner.
That had me laughing for quite a while.
You missed. I don't know. Did you miss it, Paul? I don't know if you were watching.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it, please.
No, you sure?
It was awful.
I got
Oh
the
my
toilet paper. I can demonstrate.
Yeah, it's okay.
Not real demonstration.
Hey, I'll pay you $20 for that, Bull.
It's yours, man. 25.
Bitcoin, 20 Bitcoin.
Because I could sell it for 60.
It's a Bitcoin.
well, now that you've got a month off, Lewis, you could take out and start selling toilet paper out on the curb.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of things I can get into in a month off.
So, Paul, you need to start like a regular early show now, like the coronavirus show. No?
The coronavirus review, early morning style.
Exactly.
Now there's too much of that now on the news.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's the part that bothers me. Yeah, it's a problem. Yes, it's an issue. But why do you have to drone and beat it,
Yeah, I've disconnected from the news. I got tired of hearing about it. My wife's in healthcare, so she works with it every day. So,
Oof.
well, not it, but sick people. Good times, eh? Good times. Oh, you know what I watched last night was Ford versus Ferrari. That was an interesting movie.
I heard about
yeah,
that
how
movie.
was
Is it
that?
good?
It wasn't too bad. I didn't know the story, but the Ford
Well,
GT
wait.
was one of my favorite cars ever.
Was the acting okay in it, though?
Really good.
Okay, good. Because
Oh,
that
yeah.
would work. Yeah.
I don't like Christian Bale because he's just such a psycho, but man, he did a
Yeah.
good job. He really
Yeah.
did.
So it's something to watch because I got
Yeah.
4 weeks. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Something, not as good as I would have liked, I guess. My expectations are always high, but
No, it's based on a
decent
true
movie.
story, though, right? It's based on a true story.
Yeah. I
Bye,
really wanted to
Kim. Have a
slap
good
the Ford
day,
guys
buddy.
around.
What's that, Paul?
Tim Rehan is leaving. Bye. You have a great
Oh.
day.
Yeah.
See
Take
you
care.
later.
Oh, the coffee's almost ready. It's worth the wait.
I'm gonna
like
go make some.
4
I'll be right
cups
back.
in already.
Drone Life just says on Sirius Radio, satellite radio, there's a channel dedicated to the,
The
corona.
corona. Yeah, I'll make sure I don't dial into that.
What the hell? That's about out there. I'll tell
Where'd
you.
you go? Out of nowhere, he just boop
He had to
disappeared.
go get some coffee.
So I'm
So-
all set. I got my pot of coffee, so I don't have to get up. I've got my bucket under the desk, so I don't have to get up.
You're ready to go from
Wait,
stream to
wait.
stream. No pun
Got a
intended.
couple of
And I got my toilet paper.
You are set up. Coronavirus secure.
Woo!
Check. And you're still socializing, but practicing social distancing at the
Yes,
same time.
yes. Well, like I said, I tell
Isn't
people all the
technology
time-
great?
Yeah, I tell people all the time I hate people anyway, so this is perfect. I can
When it
just
works.
hit a disconnect button as soon as possible. And people think I'm joking. My kids will even tell you what's the first thing I tell them the first day of class. Every year, first day of class, my first sentence is, let's get this straight right now. I don't like any of you. That's how I start my that's how I start my year.
You are not my friend.
Yeah. I don't like any of you. I don't like people.
I'm not a people person.
Yeah, but by the end of the year, they're like, you love us. I'm like, whatever helps you sleep at night. We're your favorite. I'm like, I don't dislike you that much. How's that?
I don't get that. I always have a ton of students like, "Oh, come on, Mr. Brown, tell me, aren't I your favorite? No, I have one favorite student. Well, it's me. And I said, no, it's nobody in this school. It's my dog.
Yeah, right.
That's what I don't tell them. But, oh, I'm your favorite. Well, at least I'm your second favorite. I said, whatever you need. to say.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, kid. That's what
Get your instrument out and sit down. Get out of my face.
Well, it's the one kid said, she goes, I gave him an assignment over holiday break, and she goes, you don't like me very much. You gave me homework. I said, listen, darling.
I don't like any of you.
I said, you're not special. I don't
Yeah.
like any of you.
You're not special.
Yeah, you don't count yourself special. I don't like any of you.
If you were special, I'd like you the least.
Well, that's it. I tell the kids, I said, I don't rate anybody on how much I like them. I base it on how much I don't dislike you.
Yeah, there you go.
So
It's an inverse quality quotient, right? For you?
Exactly. They have to think about that for a second. If 0 means I'm neutral and positive means I like you, the closer you are to 0 is probably a good way of looking at it as far as how much I don't dislike you.
Give me something. Give me something to go by.
Oh, Big J says that here in Spain, they're all confined to homes for 2 weeks. I'm so glad you guys can give me a bit of normal. Wait, they called us normal.
No, oh God. All right, no, wait. Big J's DJI experience here in Spain. All right, so what now? Let me ask.
Yeah.
No shit. What do you mean in your house?
Like, will you be arrested if you step out of your house? Are you
Like, can you go to the grocery store? Can are there certain things open? Because I believe we're doing it the right way, but we're doing it half-assed.
Right.
Like, everything is still open. People still have to go to work. Look, let's just shut things down. The non-essentials, keep them out of everybody's hair. And what we need open are gas stations, hospitals, and grocery stores. Period.
Right.
Yeah.
Stay home, watch Netflix.
He says he's
and
not
if that
allowed-
crashes, play
Yeah.
board games.
says he's not allowed to go out and fly his drones, so that means you're pretty much a shut-in. And let's face it too, this whole travel ban, it's too late.
Yeah, the cat's out of the
pointless.
bag.
Yeah, it's pointless. Having a travel ban at this point is not going to slow anything down. Keeping people away from people is, and travel bans aren't going to do that. They have
No,
no impact on that whatsoever.
I mean, they even go ahead.
Hey Jay, if you'd like to come in on the chat with us, all you got to do is your email address in the chat, and I'll copy it and I'll send you a link. You can tell us all about Europe and
Wow.
the coronavirus.
Yeah, I would love that.
I'd like to too. I'd like to hear it.
I'd like to hear that myself.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
So we can have a conversation about it.
Because one of the problems I have is all of the misinformation, the misguided information, though it be wanting to be helpful. It's ludicrous that people are listening to Facebook and yes, the mainstream media has its role in it, but at the same time, you have to be a wise and prudent consumer of mainstream media.
Right, right.
You have to have a brain and look at what you're looking at and have some pause to say and think about some stuff.
You have to take time and make sure that, I mean, let's face it, young kids are quick to believe anything they read, and but you gotta take it all with a grain of salt. I hate to use that euphemism, but listen. But like you said, take a pause and don't jump on it. Think about it before you react to it.
And I did a little social experiment last night. I found a kind of middle of the road post out there on Facebook. And I reposted it. And I posted it with this saying, ponder worthy. I think you reacted to it, Centroid. Ponder worthy, don't react, just think. And I posted it. Everybody's, I can't believe, are you on this way? Are you this way? Oh my God, dude, you didn't take my advice. Just think. Just think about it for a second. And it was basically on like, oh, if you think you have your freedoms, look at how easily your freedoms were taken away.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. First of all, they really weren't taken away, guys. They weren't. They're not being imposed like apparently this guy from Italy says he's being imposed.
Spain.
Or Spain, excuse me. I can, well, from Spain.
Yeah.
I can, and you never hear anything from Spain.
Now here we don't.
Right. And that's a whole culture in and of itself that's isolated, that people do not. What news do you get from Spain ever?
Hey, Big J's DJI experiences from Spain. It's in the chat right now.
So that's exactly what I want to hear from somebody who's got boots on the ground.
They're
guy in Spain.
They're house ridden. Apparently
2 weeks.
Right, and see in their government, what fashion of government did the Spanish have? Quick, anybody? Nobody knows what Spanish got. It's socialism.
Socialist, yeah.
I didn't know that.
So, and what news do we get from Spain? Even you people in Canada, you have no clue about what news do we get from certain parts of the world that is important that we don't get.
Will this be on the test later?
No. I'm just suggesting that we're not as open to media as we think we are.
No, that's true. But I mean, are you suggesting that we don't hear from Spain because they're socialist, or?
No, I'm suggesting we don't hear from Spain because we don't want to hear from Spain. Oh. It's not Spain's fault that we don't hear from them. It's our fault.
I don't agree with that at all. I don't think the average person controls what the media lets them hear.
But the average person has control of the media now to look through media. Who knows? If you did a search on Spain right now, you would find some information on Spain. But the mainstream media isn't offering us that.
But that argument, you could say, well, why aren't we hearing about Portugal? Why aren't we hearing about, Belize? I mean, there's a million different countries.
What about Sweden?
What we're hearing about is countries that are closest to us and have the biggest economic impact. That's what you're
true. Yeah.
True. All right. True.
About the hotspots.
Yeah. True, so but the hotspots. But the hotspots become skewed with all of the media attention and the rhetoric coming out of it. I want I want to hear from other places of the world that are being affected, but maybe don't have that economic impact, but are being affected in other ways. Economics is huge, but I want to know the social impact of it. Why are these people and how are these people in Spain dealing with the socialistic idea of how their government is run and staying indoors? That guy can't go out and fly a drone. I'd be pissed as an American. But yet, my idea is should we be that draconian in America to stop something like this? Is this just a trial run for something more dangerous? Are we going to learn something from this? I don't think we are. Those are my questions and those are my concerns. We're buying toilet paper and not wiping our ass with it.
I fear that most of the decisions being made now are more from a political standpoint than from a practical standpoint. Like, for example, schools. let's face it. Let's say Onondaga decided to be the only district that didn't close and subscribe to the fear of the coronavirus. What kind of political lashback are they going to get from unions, parents, community members if they don't close? And we
Right.
could be the healthiest district and we could be void of it, but if they don't close, they're still going to get crap.
Right. Well, it's a damned if you do and a damned if you don't situation.
Yeah.
And people have to understand that hopefully nothing happens. That's the point. Don't be pissed off when 4 weeks, a month is over and nobody died. That's the point. And if it's a knee-jerk reaction that we overreacted, then you know what? Let's learn something for it and make sure that when something more deadly that's going to be coming, and I'm sure of it, comes down the pike, we can handle it better and not freak out and buy toilet paper.
All right.
I mean, God damn it. I couldn't buy my mom toilet paper because she freaking needed it. She's an 82-year-old woman, and the run on the freaking toilet paper in her town was insane, stupid, ridiculous, unneeded, fearful.
Big
And
J
it's-
said,
Big J, yep.
yeah, Big J says that as of Friday at 2 p.m., they were told to close all bars and restaurants at midnight.
We still have
He lives
restaurants
in-
open. We still
He
have
still-
bars
he-
open.
He
People
lives
said,
in a holiday
we're
destination.
going to do St. Patrick's Day on Barrack Street, right, Michelle? Wasn't it? Barrack Street was packed last night. All the bars in Barrack Street, this a bar quarter part in Utica was packed. Same thing in Syracuse, packed
That's
full of
it.
people.
That's it. You're gonna die of the corona now. You're gonna die.
But the thing is
I'm kidding.
Aren't we doing it half-assed? Are we going to do it right or not? I mean, that's my problem.
Well,
We're-
the government can say one thing. It's the people. Like, if they made the bars if they said don't go out to bars, do you really think that's going to stop people from going out?
No.
No.
But the bar owners should be responsible enough to say, we're closing. We're not going to
Yeah.
allow you to do that.
But
Yeah,
it brings up the topic of uncommon sense.
Uncommon sense, and my wife is yelling, then they wouldn't make money, which is all of that economic issue too. But that's why it's so important to not politicize this
Mhm.
and to be smart about it. And it's been politicized and it's not been
There's the
smart
problem.
about it.
You're expecting people to be smart about this.
But
Mark, you know who I was chatting with last night was Jeanette Pickering.
Yeah.
And she is really terrified because she's in one of those extremely high risk
Yes, she
categories
is.
with
Yeah.
her lung issues and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I have two people that are in high risk. My daughter, who has asthma and a lot of allergies, she's basically allergic to water, we've been
Yeah.
told. So she's at high risk. And my mom, who lives 100 miles literally away
Yeah.
from me, who is 82 years old, she's self-isolated as it is, which is a bad thing for an elderly person, but good for right now.
yeah.
But at the same time, I'm afraid to go visit her because
Well,
I don't
yeah.
want to be
Yeah, the
bringing
carrier.
anything to her.
Right.
I know I'm not sick, and I've been
Yeah.
diligently taking my temperature, making sure I'm not presenting any. But I'm being smart about it, and I want other people to be smart about it. Not reactionary, not freaky, but
Yeah.
just think. Calm down, everybody, and think.
So what was Jeanette? I mean, what was the concern? I mean, what kind of conversation?
Yeah, what was the
I'm
back
curi-
and forth?
I'm curious to hear what she had to say, other than the fact that she's obviously concerned about it. Yeah, but because she has health issues. No
Yeah,
doubt.
nothing specific. Just I was just trying to throw out the normal platitudes like it's a very low mortality rate, blah blah blah. And she was like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm in the high risk category. And I said,
Oops.
fair enough.
Yeah,
Ouch.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. I
Did
guess
she
you
mention?
are.
The funny thing, I talked to Steve from Aerial Views, and he says toilet paper disappeared off the shelves and pasta. They said they sold out of pasta.
Here too. Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah,
something-
and
The
you
good
know
thing
what
is
else
this-
that didn't get sold off of the shelves that should have, that if people were actually thinking, like good things like rice and soup that are canned, but you go to some and you're gonna see soup all over the place. Come on.
Yeah.
People
Low
got their
calorie
toilet
density.
paper.
Yeah.
People got their toilet paper.
I would have gone for the rice too. High calorie density,
Yeah.
long-term storage.
Stuff-
That's survival food, man.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not, look, all of the doomsdayers are probably laughing their asses out at all of us.
Because let's face it, I mean, and I don't want to get graphic or gross, but you don't need toilet paper to clean yourself.
No, you don't.
You can
No.
live without toilet paper.
Yes, you
It's-
can, absolutely.
You will survive, and you will be clean too.
But you cannot live without food or water.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Especially if you're limited, you can use the Centroid method.
Don't.
Now, here's the rub. Even food you can live weeks without. I mean, me, I could probably
Yes.
live 6 months, but you know,
Me too.
You guys,
No,
Hey,
you're
man,
right.
I'm like
Louis
maybe
P. Floyd,
two,
maybe about
maybe
a week.
Yeah.
not
You
even
got a week,
a couple of days.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. You
I'm
would
all muscle. I'm no
you-
protein.
You would consume yourself in 2 days. Yes, Paul, from the inside out. Yeah.
Look at those guns.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you're right.
BB guns.
People don't realize how
That's a good shit like that.
mine are more like like what do you milk dud guns? You know, I shoot
They're
milk
rubber
duds.
band guns.
I shoot milk duds.
Oh boy.
But you're right, Hugh. Dehydration, a day or two, 3, you start getting sick. Food you can go without. That's the water you need to stock up on.
Yeah.
You know.
Luckily, I live right across from the St. Lawrence River. I should just go down and drink from that with a straw, right?
There you go.
Well, you know what I have? I've got water filters.
Yeah. Yeah, we do too,
There
actually.
you go.
I got a lot of camping gear, so I got stuff, you know, I'm ready.
I'm a hiker.
Yeah, I used to be a hiker.
Timeless Truth has a good question because they are this person is talking about the restart. I guess meaning when we could start seeing a decrease.
Months,
Yeah.
months away.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, they're looking into summer. I mean,
Yeah.
I literally, I don't know what is going to come with. I'm a musician. Concerts, like my school, like when
or
we
even
go back,
even graduation, for crying out loud.
when we go back to school, we've got less than 2 months to get business done.
Mhm.
Graduation,
Mhm.
concerts,
That's even if we go back after a month. You never know.
parades. I've got 2 parades
And-
parades that I have
and-
to be
and-
into.
and-
What's
Not anymore, you don't.
Yeah, and let's face it. To be honest, even Roger Palooza might be at risk.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
they may restrict travel across the border at some point, one country or the other. You know, but more likely the U.S. restricting travel back, which means if I go there, I might not be able to come back home.
Yeah.
Canada, you can keep them.
Well, we'll foster you, Mark. Don't worry. We got spare rooms for everybody.
Okay.
It's okay. I'm welcomed at Rogers, and I won't be flying drones because it's
And
illegal.
Roxy
You can
is
sleep with
already.
Roxy.
Roxy
Wink, wink.
said she will share her bed with him. Mark is always welcome.
No, she won't share her bed. Don't kid yourself. Have you
That
seen
bitch
the
will
size
push
of
you
her?
off.
Have you seen the size of her? She
Yeah.
barely fits on that bed as it is.
But she sure loved it when you're there.
Oh, she's a good pup. I love that dog. In fact,
I
they
had a
gave me
dream I
this-
had a new dog last night. That's
they
weird.
gave
I
me
remember
this-
that.
Almost ripped the freaking microphone headset right off my head. But they presented me with this when I left.
Oh,
A nice picture of Roxy. Isn't she adorable?
She is a beautiful dog.
She
really
is a sweetie. But if I tell you, I want to see her throw that bag of potatoes. Apparently, when she gets mad and doesn't get attention, she picks up a whole sack of potatoes and shakes it around till they go all over the kitchen. I said, Roger, you got to get that on film.
is it going to be nice-ish out today?
I think so. I have to clean the. You can see how dirty
38
this one.
but sunny.
This one I think might fly, but it's got to be cleaned up a bit. She's got a
Cleaned
little bit
up?
of mud.
Eh, just-
just a
Wax
little.
and wash, no big deal.
Yeah.
Polish
so.
the props.
It's missing a couple bolts in the bottom, nothing that can't be replaced, but she should be able to fly. And then the other one. So I should have 2 of them ready to go.
I'm ready to go, guys. Look at that.
There you go.
No pre-flight. Oh, I forgot I changed the position of my camera. There we go.
But I with the whole FAA thing, and that was kind of the push I made to the guy who interviewed me. He goes, "Is it really going to stop people from flying drones?" I said, "It
No.
depends on the type of drones." I said, "Is it going to affect the video photography drone? Yeah, you're going to lose privacy and you're going to have to do this and that, but you will still be able to fly as long as you fly by the rules." I said, "What I feel is more of the issue is the hobby, the people who make the drones, because if you read through And I think, Paul, you did a good job with your video, by the way. I did watch that video. If you
Thank you.
read through that quite a bit, you realize that they're going to restrict the sale of parts. And that if you're gonna make a drone, it has to be a pre-approved kit that the FAA deems suitable for making a drone to fly. That means that as far as robotics and what we do with students, it takes that creativity completely out, and the ability to modify and build a drone to suit the task at hand is completely taken away from the students.
It's so they want innovation, but they stifle it.
Right.
They want, how many times have I seen, oh, the United States ain't going to buy any more DJI products. No more DJI products from China. No more of this. No,
Yeah. So
you
who's
can't-
gonna make them?
make them now? Who's
Well,
going to build them? What components are you going to use?
Right,
You
right.
ass hats.
That's why I read quite a few of the responses
It's just
to the FAA
so-
before I wrote mine. I wanted mine to be somewhat unique. It wasn't completely unique, but I wanted it to be from the heart. So I approached it from an educator standpoint, right? And talked about the club and the kids and getting into it. And essentially, I ended with saying, you're burning the bridge before the kids can even get to it. You're going to need people to fly, build, repair these drones, and you're not even going to have a workforce that's going to be able to do it, because those of us like you, Paul, like myself, we can teach these kids the basics. Now, I can't build one of these big fancy drones that Amazon's going to use for delivery, but this is the beginning. I have a girl.
Wait, Mark. Yes, you can. Do you
Oh.
want to know why?
Principles
Why?
are all the same.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
Well,
Flight controllers,
here's
speed controllers, motors. It's all the
It's
same
fun.
parts.
I have this girl that she's been my student for 2 years, pre-calc last year and calculus this year. She's going to I forget which university it is, but she's going for engineering, and she got an invitation to be part of this program, and she never would have taken it if she didn't become part of the drone club.
That's awesome.
It's
good.
it's an engineering that is involving
Stifling
drones.
innovation.
And she's so excited about it. She's going to be working with drones and 3D imaging and FLIR cameras and all this stuff. And
Ooh,
it's all
nice.
and basically the program it revolves around the use of drones and collecting data and doing stuff with. And
Yes.
she's so excited about it.
Yeah. Yes, the computers are going to be flying the drones, but we need people behind those
Right.
computers.
Well,
and
somebody's
those
gotta fix
people
it.
that are behind the computers that are fixing. No, we're even going to have computers and machines that are going to be fixing the drones. We're not
Right.
going to be fixing them, but we need to have a human in the process.
The human
And a
element's
human
got to
that-
be there.
Exactly, because we are literally, gentlemen, going to be microsizing these drones. These drones literally, and I shit you not, and I with all intents and purposes, these things are going to be put inside of us one day
Mhm.
and flown around inside of us one day. That's how small, and the understanding of how we can do that is going to come from the macro, where we are now, down to the micro and subatomic levels.
Talk about
Literally.
science. Talk about science fiction become science fact. What is the name of that movie, Paul? You might be able to. Any of you might know. I think it's called Fantastic Journey or whatever, where they
Oh, yeah.
miniaturize the
yeah.
sub
Yes,
and they put them inside of the human in order to
Mhm.
help cure a disease or something like that.
that was a
about it.
fantastical farce, and it was,
Yes.
it was in the late '80s that they did this. Now, if anybody knows anything
No, that movie
about,
was earlier than the '80s. The one I'm thinking of. But
oh,
they did
was it in the '70s?
yeah, even earlier. I think.
No.
But there was a
It's probably a remake.
There was a
Remake
remake
in the
called
80s.
There was a remake called Inner Space.
Inner
That was
Space, yeah.
which is similar to it. It had the same concept, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you're right. It's a farce, but the concept is there. You may not be in the vehicle, but you will be flying the vehicle inside somebody and being able to remotely see what's going on.
Well, exactly, and the augmented and virtual reality portions of all of this too are virtually untapped as well,
Mhm.
and being stifled as well. And pretty soon, guess what else is going to be really stifled once it really takes a hold? 3D
What?
printing.
Mhm.
3D printing is going to be a manufacturer's nightmare and a distributor's nightmare, because it's going to shutter the industry.
I don't
You
think
don't-
so. I don't
Well-
think so. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
It is going to be a boon because it's a rapid prototyping device, right? So anybody that's involved in physical engineering, you've got to be able to rapidly prototype. 3D printing is a godsend.
Yeah.
The second part of it is it's so slow right now that it's not competing with manufacturing. If
But
you've
it
got
will.
injection molding and things like that, those are much faster processes.
It's getting faster.
Well,
and it
wait a
will.
minute. You need the 3D modeling. It's. I mean, you're
Yes.
right. It should not be called a rapid prototyper because it's anything but rapid.
Well,
But-
it's rapid compared to like cutting dies.
Yeah,
Right,
cutting
and
dies.
then- and then-
But your injection molding depends on 3D printing now because a lot of your molds are fashioned off of those 3D prints.
There you go.
But by the time it all catches up and we're actually spooled up to the point where it's going to shutter some industries like shipping, it's going to be to the point where I'm going to order a lamp from Germany and I don't need it to be shipped. I just need it to be printed on my
Yeah, I mean, that'd be
on my
cool.
desk.
That'd be cool.
So, well, that would be cool, but think about all of the things and people and industry and systems that touch that lamp coming from Germany to my house.
But I think
that
by the
won't
time
be
we get
there
to
anymore.
your point, we'll have solved all those problems because we
No,
can't
we
not.
won't. No,
We can't
because
not.
no, because you live in the world, right?
I live in the world, but you're talking about a point that is so far.
But
I
we
can't see
tend to
that.
get ahead of ourselves a lot of time, and
do.
that's what's going to
Yeah.
crop up, and that's what's going to create that paradigm shift that makes us go that way.
We have a new guy in the chat who Josh Weaver says that he 3D prints metal here in Syracuse
Yep.
and he rapid prototypes.
But not
Yeah.
about the manufacturing.
And he's-
That's the
and
distinction.
Paul.
Exactly,
Paul.
Josh. Good point.
He's from Syracuse.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Louis P. Floyd, Josh Weaver.
Hey,
AKA
Josh
Paul.
Weaver, can we get together and can you talk to me about some CNC and about some cool stuff?
Morning, Big
Hey,
J. How you
Big
doing,
J, his
Big
microphone.
J, you're
His
muted,
microphone.
my friend.
his
You
mic-
got to unmute. Down on the bottom left, it should say mute, unmute.
There it is.
There we go.
There you
Big
go.
J, how are you,
Can you hear
sir?
me? How do you do?
Oh, Big J, you're from Espanol, yet,
Spain.
right?
Spain.
Yes, I live in Spain. I'm originally from the UK, my friend.
Okay.
Ah, cool.
So how are things
So he
there?
speaks English. He doesn't speak American. He doesn't speak
I
American.
can't understand this guy.
Oh, Josh says he's flown with you, Louis.
Have you?
He
I've
says
flown with a
he's
lot of
flown.
people. I'm sorry.
So,
I don't
So-
recognize your avatar. I probably have. Hit me up. I'll fly with you again.
So Big
Hey,
J,
cool.
we have a lot of questions for you. How things going in Spain during this crisis?
as Paul said, boots on the ground, mister. Let's have it.
Yeah, well, Friday afternoon, last Friday, the 13th, we were all told the president of Spain came on the news, says everybody, all the bars, restaurants have to close by midnight. We didn't have a choice, you know. So, you know, I work in a bar. I'm a DJ at nighttime. So
Ooh.
Cool.
Nice.
it was very disturbing to find out that we were going to be all closed. We didn't know, nobody knew what was going to happen. And then yesterday we had tannoys on the streets, cars going around shouting out saying all streets have to be cleared. You've got to stay in your homes. There's just nothing on the media, on the TVs or anything. It was just all done by tannoy on cars.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
we've got a
it
bit on social media.
must be kind of like a ghost town around there then.
It is. You know, there's over 15,000 people on holiday at the moment who came last week for St. Patrick's Day this week. You know, and they've all been confined to their hotels. You know, they can't go out drinking. They can go to local shops. You know, grocery stores. You know, it's quite bad actually.
I mean, the economy is, I mean, just tourist trade alone is getting hit badly with this, no doubt.
It is, yeah. You know, especially for us, our season's just starting as well. We started just beginning of March.
Hell away
Yeah.
to start the season. I mean,
That's right, yeah.
you know it's bad when all the Disney parks close down. I
Yeah.
mean, close.
That's unprecedented too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They shuttered for just hours for 9/11. Just a few hours.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Jay, are they saying that just kind of like mum's the word? They're not giving you a lot of information, or do you feel like they're giving you information?
They're not really giving us a lot of information. The most information we're getting is from social media.
And that's
from
dangerous.
Local groups. That's right, yeah. You know, they're posting up posters and things like that, what they've seen, but that's all it is. It's ridiculous.
See, back when I remember, and looking at like media ramping up from like the 50s into the 60s and the 70s, and before we really got most connected worldwide, there was always two opposing things. There was the government view, and even if it was like from a communist, a socialist, or a capitalistic United States, there was the government view. And then there was the media's view in that statehood or in that country. And either they aligned, sort of, or they were complete opposites. But at least you could choose a side for reality on for you, I guess. You know, you could say, okay, I agree with these points that the government states, and I don't agree with what what the major media says. Well, we can't even do that anymore because there's just so much misinformation that is misinformation upon itself.
At the
Quote
risk
Adam
of,
Savage.
yeah, at the risk of sounding philosophical, the waters of truth are completely muddied. There's no way to see through it. To filter it right now is a bit difficult.
I reject this reality and I substitute it with my own. There we go.
And that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because everybody lives in their own reality distorted bubble. If they're tuned into, you know, just a right side media or just a left side media, not even a centrist media, you're only being bombarded with what those thoughts are, and it aligns with you. So that's why we're so polarized. Nobody can think and put themselves in the other guy's shoe, and have some empathy, and then meet them in the middle.
So Jay, it's got to be like maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon for you right now, roughly.
Yeah, it's just before 1 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. So yeah, it's just around 8 o'clock for us right now. So in the morning. That's why we're all pounding the coffee.
Don't blame us.
Oh, life's blood right there. Now they talk about a revolt if they ban the sale of coffee because of a coronavirus. I think
don't you even start.
I think you'd have a serious revolt.
that would end the world right there.
People get a little crazy about gun.
Viking.
Yeah, I was going to
And
say.
I think the Canadian Drone Hub people would probably lead the charge on that one.
Yeah, I mean, people, you know, not to get political, people go crazy about gun control. Well, you do coffee control. I think you'd have more of a revolt.
I will mess you up if you touch my coffee. I will hit you.
You'll get my coffee once you pry it from my dead cold hands.
Exactly.
Yeah, we had panic buying on the Friday. All the shops were empty. Yeah.
What was the first thing that sold out? Was it toilet paper?
It was toilet paper. Yes.
Why? Why?
Because they haven't seen Mark's instructional video.
Again, not to put you on the spot, Jay, but normally when you buy toilet paper, couldn't you go a couple of weeks with no problem?
Well, yeah. The thing is, in Spain we have B-days. We don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have the bidets. That's right. So what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Ridiculous. Yeah. All panic buying. All the shops were empty. They said, why? You know, they get deliveries every day. You don't need to go out.
And somebody had a good point too. You know, the people who hoard and buy everything off the shelves and keep it for themselves. Like let's take hand sanitizer, for example. If I go to the store and there's 4 bottles, a prudent person would buy 1, maybe 2, but leave a couple of bottles. Because guess what? You're only hurting yourself because you're keeping other people from practicing safety.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, just because you're keeping clean doesn't mean the rest of the world is going to be.
Well, it's a self-preservation mentality that we've gotten into that, you know, screw the neighbor.
Oh, we lost
Save
Jay
myself.
there. We lost Jay.
We are an interdependent organism, unfortunately.
Oh no, do we have Jay in sound and not on video or something?
Maybe
still there?
Sketchy. Oh, we can hear him, but
we
no,
can hear. We can hear you,
video.
Jay. No video, but we can hear you.
Right.
You might have muted the camera.
Yeah, there's 2 things down in the bottom left. One is camera settings, and the other is your audio.
You might have a little X through your camera or something, but we can hear you still.
So here's the big bonus for a guy like me that likes to go out and fly his drone without people. Now
that's it.
No park, nobody in parks.
Time.
Yeah, that's it.
These are going to be good times for droners.
Hey, Jay, when you're out surfing looking for something to do now,
Josh Weaver's RC. Those that want gun control would even change their mind and use guns to get coffee. Just saying.
Jay, a good Facebook
Good point.
page to visit, Jay, is Canadian Drone Hub if you get a chance too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, I have been talking to them as well.
Yeah.
Great group.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
so
only
I'm actually gonna
would
get groceries today.
No,
not
Are you
only
kidding me?
what's going on.
Okay, so all right, our typical grocery run got canceled because people needed their friggin' toilet paper. So now we, because we do the shopping with Walmart. My wife goes through online and we go and pick it up at the Walmart. It's just down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Got canceled.
Yep.
Now she's pushed off to when?
well, I had to reorder.
And then you totally got all the order thrown
There
out.
he is. He's back.
Well, but apparently there's no food.
Well,
Oh wow! So now she had to reorder the order. I mean, actually go through and reorder everything because things were out.
Out of stock. Yeah.
And when
Now-
are we picking it up?
There's nothing open today.
So I'm picking up in 2 hours. I've got. I ordered last night. Did the same thing.
So
No problems.
not until Tuesday are there slots to be open. Now we can go to the grocery store. and we can-
Hashtag Canada. We're still good.
We got stuff, but this is just
Yeah.
now,
That's
now,
unfortunate.
Paul, you heard about Wegmans, right?
yeah. It pretty much got
Wegmans.
blown apart.
Yeah, but no, the other day is either Thursday night. I think it was Thursday night. They closed. They're usually 24/7. They actually closed their doors at midnight. I don't know if it's Thursday night.
So
or
they
not.
could restock.
So they could restock and clean the store, and they were opening at 6 o'clock in the morning. They've never done that before. But you know what
Yeah.
happened once they opened?
Wiped
Everything
it
went
out.
down. Wiped it
Yeah.
down.
Our
Yeah.
BJ's and our Aldi's just down the road here. BJ's, it was like Armageddon the other day. Before the store opens at 9 o'clock, I went there so Thursday night. I was coming home from school. I was going to stop at BJ's just to pick up a couple of things, just because I had to join in. I had to get my toilet paper. Really,
And
I went there just for shits and giggles to see. And I walked in and I took some photos. I could not believe it. The lines were worse than Black Friday shopping. It was unreal. So I come home and then I'm like, all right, well, I was going to get, some frozen pizzas like we typically like. And, just because, Armageddon's happening.
Mhm.
So I was like, nah, I'm not standing in all those lines for 3 items because people had cartloads and pallets of
Mhm.
stuff.
It's crazy.
Like,
Crazy.
What would you get out of work early to go and do this?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah,
people
so
do that.
People took the day off, my wife said.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you heard about it.
My neighbor next door.
Right. She heard about it from our neighbor next door and then also heard about it from her janitor when she was at school because he went out to go to BJ's and come back and he was like a Thursday afternoon was like, BJ's is like for Black Friday shopping. And then my wife texted me, maybe you don't want to stop at BJ's tonight. So I did, as I said. So anyways, I go back Saturday morning to get gas to go visit my mom, who's 100 miles away. I blow through BJ's parking lot. It's a huge parking lot. It is chock full. And it's not even 9 o'clock. The store isn't even open. People are waiting, line.
Ridiculous.
Same as us. We had queues around the corner. It was just unbelievable. 300-400 people waiting for the doors to open.
For toilet paper.
Yeah, for toilet paper.
And that's mostly what it was. Like one of my Facebook friends around here goes, he's a Marine and he has his own perspective, but he made a good point. It was like, look at these idiots. They didn't even buy the soup.
Yeah.
They got toilet paper, but didn't buy soup. All the soup was left on the,
Well, don't forget the batteries now, in case you run out of power.
oh, Jesus. Oh, I know. Because,
Oh, am I gonna start a trend now?
Virus is going to shut the power down.
Yeah, because somebody's going to spread that rumor. Now, Big J, every once in a while, you might want to type something in the chat because if you're chatting with us, people don't see your channel. And
Well, will do, my friend.
And,
Yeah,
and just
because-
say hello in the chat. Yep.
because you usually get some supporters in these streams and any chance
Should
we
I
can help
click
each
maybe
other
on
out,
the
that would be
grocery?
I came here for
Sure, they
free
should.
alcohol hand wipes.
great. Yeah. And I checked. I have you subbed already, Big J. So what? It looks like you fly a Mavic. Is that?
Yeah, I've got the Phantom 3 professional, and I've got the
Don't really need it right now.
Mavic 2 Pro as well.
Okay,
There you go.
went with the Pro. Yeah.
Which-
The
Which-
real question is do you fly FPV?
Well, the Phantom I did.
Which Jay, which one is your go-to drone?
Yeah, which one's your
now,
go-to?
now it's the Mavic 2 Pro.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Piece of
Paul and
kit.
I both fly the Zoom. We have our
Yeah,
reasons for
Yep,
choosing.
we've got the
I love
Zoom, and Jay, I just bought a brand new Inspire one. I had Inspires before.
Yeah.
Paul, how much did that cost you? I just care out of curiosity.
It was under $1,000, but then
That's not bad.
by the time you add extra batteries,
Yeah.
And a broken
But-
camera.
and a camera, I'm up
Right.
over $2,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about selling it. I got a couple of people that want to buy it. I'm thinking about selling it, and
Selling what? The Inspire that you just bought?
Yeah.
yes.
No, you're not. You're
Yes,
not.
It
No,
is
no,
quite
no,
bulky, though, isn't it? It's, to take it around in that. big
Remember, you're going to
Yeah.
mount it where
Yeah.
your screen is.
Well,
And-
Big J, I don't know if you see it up there above my shoulder. I have a Typhoon H. I love that drone, but
Wow.
when it comes to going out and flying, it's so
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
easier.
Bulky.
Take my little case with my Mavic 2 Zoom and off I go.
Yeah. It's the same with the Phantoms, though. That they're still bulky. You got to put all the props on and everything like that with the
Look-
Mavic.
Hugh's,
Yeah.
Hugh's got it
Open and
figured
go.
out.
you
Hugh's
go.
got it figured out. There you go, Hugh.
4K
Yeah.
camera, 3-axis gimbal. This is all you need, guys.
Has it really got a 4K camera on it?
No.
I was going to be impressed. Okay, Logan Carpenter, don't start trouble now. He wants me to do the in-service on toilet paper.
No.
Mark, I think you should do
Well,
a
I
video.
think if
You
you
should do a
did
video.
that for Big J, it might get spread around the world. The
Spread's not a good word to use, Paul.
Not
Spread's not a
anymore.
good use. Don't use the word spread.
Hey, I think you ought to give him a
Smear.
quick,
Smear.
just a quick demonstration, so that he can then tell his neighbors
Okay.
and people.
Okay. And you know what? For my good my good buddy Louis P. Floyd, he needs to learn because you're running out of toilet paper, right? You're gonna have to ration it. So you ready for this?
Yeah, we're ready.
Paul, are you ready?
I'm paying attention.
Are you sure?
Here, I'll put you on full
This
screen
is,
here.
this is Logan's fault here. You might want to get your wife for this one.
Oh, Michelle, Mark has something. He's got to show. Hold on.
Okay.
Here,
Run,
let me-
Michelle, run.
Now I'm a bit embarrassed because I had to do this in front of Ksenia last night, and your wife's probably gonna hate me for this too. But
All right, hold on. Wait. Hold on. I got to unmute you.
it is part of conserving, and if you're running out of toilet paper, you're gonna have to do this. The method is to use only one piece. And the trick is getting a little geometric here. You're gonna have to fold it into a triangle, right? Wait. You got to fold it into a triangle again, right? So we're gonna get a little mathematical. So we got ourselves an isosceles triangle here. Well, you want this corner. You want to just rip it just a little bit, right? So now you've got one piece with a hole in it, right? Put your finger in, clean yourself, pinch, and wipe. Okay. Now wait. There's more. That little piece you tore off. That little piece you tore off is good for under the fingernails. Wait, and you really want to conserve, you can use the other side of the paper next time. Just saying.
I'm gonna have to share this on social media for everybody in Spain.
Yeah.
It's going to go viral in a long way.
It's gonna be
Well,
a different
I'm
vibe.
thinking about putting this as a video on my channel, but that's who's going to make my channel go down the toilet, literally and figuratively.
It's pretty shitty.
Yes.
Hey, Jay, that's
So-
what you
so
call
is your-
giving yourself the finger.
Yeah. So I didn't get to see it on camera. Does your wife hate me now?
No.
She's just lost respect for you. That's all.
No.
Now,
I'll start with C's this year.
Now I can't take credit for that. I did not invent that method.
Well, it's all right. We can spread it though.
So again, bad word. Don't use
Spread.
spread.
Spread the word.
Canvas, right? It's like all got to
Canvas.
Hey,
As long as you don't use the word smear.
Mark,
Let's start with this piece.
Ooh.
Shake it out, Hugh. Shake it out.
Ugh.
Take it off, you.
Yeah.
Hugh was last night was like cursing at me on the chat. I mean, he had all the all the
Big J, by the
symbols
way,
and
this
stuff.
is really not the Canadian Drone Hub. This is all Paul Murray's fault. This is
No,
not really
yeah.
us. We
No,
get even crazier on this.
What
other
have I got myself into here?
Well,
mate?
yeah, I do believe if I were to scroll back, you said something about being, bound to your house and being able to dial in and having some sense of normalcy. And I'm like, really? He called this
Normalcy.
normal?
This-
He
no,
called
this
this
ain't
normal?
we do that. We call this normal.
I think, yeah, my wife had a good point. I think people are going to be more pissed off at you that you just wasted a perfectly good square
I mean,
of toilet paper.
Oh no, don't worry. I'm gonna use it. Don't worry.
oh,
It's good. It's still good to
It's
go.
okay. All right, all right, all right.
Not only do I have this, but I have the little piece there it is for my fingernails too. So we're
Okay.
good.
You know what you should
Lucky.
sell? You should sell little squares with instructions and a kit.
Yeah.
Internet.
black bag.
Survival kit.
Survival
Single
kit.
white. Single white survival
one
kit.
piece of toilet paper,
Yeah.
and maybe a match for after.
Bag.
Put it in the illegal plastic grocery bags that we don't have anymore.
Yes.
Well, I like the idea of the match because if you could get it to burn, you could be a candle. So you can use
Well, no, it's for the odor. Let's be honest.
Oh, but
Yeah, the old-
but it also doubles as a light source afterwards, right?
Yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
come on.
But-
The Corona survival kit. Oh Lord.
All right,
So
all right.
glad I tuned in this morning.
Jay's just shaking his head, going, "What the hell is he?"
Oh,
Friggin' Americans,
so-
he says. What the
so
hell?
So you can blame Logan Carpenter for twisting my arm or my finger in this case.
Do you use the same finger every time, Mark?
Oh, you can vary it. You can vary it. You can vary it. It depends.
Hey,
I guess.
good luck.
I guess it depends on how.
Good luck.
I mean, you
Curtis
do have
Dart.
different length fingers. Let's say.
Hey, everybody wish Curtis Dart good luck. He's going to the store. He's going to the store with his wife. Good luck, Curtis.
Yeah. Good luck.
Especially Curtis is out in Washington State, right there, ground zero, where they've got tons of people that are.
Well, we have our situation down in
positive.
we have our
Oh, got
situation
little
down
feet
in
coming
New
down.
York. So, New York City's been hit pretty badly too.
We're still
Corey
pretty good
Mano,
up here.
how's it going?
Yeah.
It's going
So
off the
here's
shelves and back on, but it's pretty quiet.
here's another thing that's crazy. So because of where I live up in Oswego, or well, I don't live there, but I'm from there. There's a nuclear plant there. It's called 9 Mile Island,
Mhm.
I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
and every I don't know, like 2-3 years, the plant goes through a closure and retro, which means it gets closed down and it gets fixed or gone through and cleaned and whatnot. And how that works is they bring in close to 2,000 people from the city, from Yankee, Vermont, and Massachusetts, whatever ones are out there. And they take all those people and they put them into a small little town called Oswego to clean the thing, to clean the nuclear plant.
Yeah,
Well,
good luck.
that's
with that.
happening right now.
Really?
Uh-huh. So but isn't it ridiculous? See, we're doing the right thing, but half-assed.
Mhm.
So
Half-assed, I think that's tough. They're talking.
well, but here's the thing: these plant closures, because I kind of know a little bit about it because I've had family working. They can be postponed or moved around. They don't have to be done exactly at the same time. They have all of these like safeguards and timelines that are built in for problems like this to buffer it. They can move these times around. This is one of the times I think that they should do that, because here's how stupid it is. They close Oswego State University, SUNY Oswego, because all SUNY campuses, all CUNY campuses are closed down. Great. About 2,000 to 3,000 people in the city of Oswego, which has about 40 to 50,000 people in it and population. 2,000 to 3,000 people are gone because of that. But now 2,000 to 3,000 people from infected areas are coming in.
That's the trouble we had.
Really?
Yeah.
And guess where they're not going to be at home to fix their own food and their own meals. So guess what? They're going to go out and they're going to go into the town and have to get their meals and their
Mingle.
food.
Yeah, that was the trouble we had with Madrid. Was the most infected, but there were 3,000 cases just in Madrid, and they closed all their schools, all their colleges, and what did they do? They went on holiday to Benidorm, where we live.
Mhm.
You know, it's ridiculous.
It's
Yeah.
it's unsensical. It's like,
Well,
you know,
it's-
knee jerk reaction. We got to do this, but then we don't really think through the
Well,
fact that look,
we're human beings. We take the path of least resistance. Let's be honest. And,
true,
and
true,
if
but
it's- and if it's inconvenient, we're not going to do it in the long run. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm saying that's one of our faults,
Right.
or many faults. And so,
but the
like
more
said,
you know.
like Big J said, they're going to go on holiday whether you tell them to or not. You know, 'cause
But if you
it's
put
their
the
holiday.
right place guard, but if you put the right safeguards in, if somebody actually who's thinking in the right line, you do what they did. Look, all right, you're going to get fined if you open your bars. Here's one safeguard. You can do it, but here's the repercussions.
Right. And then you
Most
have to weigh
people
out
are
the-
going to, most people with that barrier, like you said, Mark, are going to take the path of least resistance.
Right.
And the path of least resistance in
It's to
that
not do it.
scenario
Yes,
is to
it's
not
to
do
not
it.
do it. Yeah, because especially the bar, they're going to lose a lot of money.
Right. So you have to set people up for success in these types of scenarios. And that's why you need people with calm, cool, collective minds, a bunch of people, not just one or two, but a bunch of people who are calm, cool, collective, have thought this process through and can react better than the masses in a knee-jerk reaction, you know?
Right.
And we don't have that. And I'm hoping that this kind of teaches us some stuff, you know?
Unlikely.
Unlikely, but I'm hoping.
Oh, it'll teach us, but we won't heed it.
Well,
it's like
I will.
It's like people who smoke. They know it's bad for them, but you know what? They're going to do it anyway.
Do you remember anything from 8th grade history class? I don't. That's what it's going to be like.
Yeah, well, that's
You know.
good point.
'Cause you didn't want to be there.
Well,
Not
gotta
that I'm
wake
saying
up.
We shouldn't. I believe we should, but where'd our host go? Paul's gone.
What are you watching, Terminator?
No, we're watching.
Yeah, Paul had muted himself for a second, then he disappeared.
Yeah,
I think we
we're
need to
all
have like
batteries,
a-
Catherine. We're all batteries.
We need a running stream of Netflix that we can all sit and watch together and comment on. That'd be fun.
Well, I actually did that once. We were on Skype call, and I was on a Skype call with Steve from Aerial Views and Crags. So I was talking to them in the UK, and we were watching. Can't think of the name of the sitcom, but he said you got to see this. It's really funny. If you've ever seen The Young Ones, it features the guy who used to play Rick. And I can't think of the name of the sitcom. And we sat there on this Skype call, and he put it into a window, and we were all watching the same program, and it was freaking hysterical.
That's
And
fun.
so yeah, it can
Good
be
job.
done. It can be done.
Right, guys, I'm sorry to say, but I'm going to have to shoot. But
Hey.
it was thanks to speaking to you all.
Oh, Big J, thanks
Big
for your
J.
input, man.
Yeah, thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, thanks for your
talking
feedback.
to us, and good luck over there.
Yeah,
Mark.
best wishes, man.
Thank you.
Hope you
Yep. Stay safe.
get
Don't
out
touch anybody.
sometime. Take care.
See you, man.
Cheers, my friends.
Right
Bye.
down at the bottom right, it says "Leave meeting," and then you'll get
That's the
another.
one. Cheers, my friends.
Take care, man.
Bye bye.
Ta-da, mate.
Nice guy. Nice guy.
Yep.
See, and that's information that I feel better about. That some dude that just gave it to us straight.
Yep.
What's wrong with that?
He's there, you know.
Yeah, and some of the things that he was saying make sense.
Yeah.
Set it up for success so that people, like you say, want to take the path of least resistance. Well, the path of least resistance is not to do the wrong thing because it's
Mhm.
the correct way. Yes, it sucks. A lot of things suck in life.
Mhm.
Dying would suck quite a bit.
Yeah, just a bit. Just a bit.
Just getting sick sucks. I hate being sick.
Hmm.
Well, I'm just grateful that Big J took the time and effort to come on with us.
That was
Yeah,
nice. I'm
that
glad
was
he
really
took you
cool.
up. I'm glad you invited him, Paul. I mean, yeah, not a lot of people would have thought to invite him, so that was very, very insightful to have somebody come on and talk.
Well,
to
you
us
know
about.
that, and that's the thing of it is that he gave us a look at what he's looking at.
And you know what?
And because we all sit here looking at what we're looking at,
And to his credit, he didn't give us an opinion about it.
No.
He stated it as fact. This is what has to be done. This is what they expect of us. So you can make up your own mind whether or not you think it's bullshit or not.
Sure.
So, he didn't sit there and whine. He did say, he can't go and fly his drone. I mean, that we understand that. But, he didn't sit there and just complain about it. It almost as if he's, cautiously accepting of it.
It appears that he and the people around him have made peace with the fact that, okay, this is how it's going to be and this is why it is. And here we go. But he is British too. Keep calm, cool, and collective, and carry on. Not to pull that into it, but they there are some people that have that type of mentality of just, okay, here it is. But I want to know too, is his information good, bad, or worse than what we're getting? And because it seems like in his society and in Spain there, people are running on toilet paper. It's the Chipotle madness.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think I want to double up after a good night at Chipotle. I'll tell you
Big
that.
J just said thank you guys for letting me join. Yeah, Jay,
perspective is everything, and the more of it that we can from people that are going to give it to us cleanly and truthfully.
Well, the other thing I got from Big J was that he feels as though he's not getting enough information there. That they're kind of censoring a lot of the information that's not overwhelming, like we feel overwhelmed, and he's just
we feel overwhelmed, but
the bar.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference. There's being overwhelmed with garbage information, and then there's being underwhelmed with no information. I'd like to find a happy medium. Give me some facts, but don't bombard me every.
That's what I'm
seconds
struggling for too, Mark. Yeah, that's exactly where I'm struggling with. It's just how I don't want to take the time to have to ferret through what's real and what's not. Right. I just want to be. I want the old days where I have a couple of choices to make. A couple of opinions or factual based opinions that I can say, okay, this lines up with what my thinking is like, and I can then make a decision. There's too much to make it. I can't make a decision. There's too much to decide upon. What's real, what's not, what's halfway in between, what's not in between, what's rhetoric pushing us in one way because of this. Or
the Quadfather is in the house. Yes. Hey, Roger.
Hey, good morning,
Roger. He's going to bring sense to all of this, people.
Yes, right. Yes, he's gonna give us his blessing. He's gonna calm us all down.
Yeah, Roger. If you're ready to go on, you let me know, and we'll just all come over and raid in Drone Hub.
Exactly.
I might go fly. I don't know.
I'm starting to diagnose one of my quads. I hope to fly in the next couple hours myself. So, I just want to ask one question for the older folks on the panel. Am I naive in thinking that back in the day there was more objective news reporting than there is now?
No,
yes, there was. No, there was. Now you get so much editorial and so much opinion.
Yeah, there's too many talking heads.
Yeah, but I mean, back in the day, it seemed like they did a better, maybe not a perfect job, better job of keeping opinion out and just trying to report what they saw.
Totally agree, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, you go back to people like Sam O'Donnell.
Yeah, Brokaw and them.
Brokaw, Koppel.
Yeah.
Those guys were
journalists.
Another part that's scary in our society, that everybody is we were technologically based and we have to push technology and no more trade school. You know what's really getting lost and what's a fundamental pillar upon our society?
What's that?
Free journalism.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Roger,
becoming a real lost.
Roger, you just let us know when you want us to transfer over to you.
Yeah, I mean,
Roger's going to eat first.
Yeah, just the sheer fact that any news agency right now is really controlled by money, and that their opinions are based on the owner of the company and what their views are.
It's okay. So it's very analogous to what's happening in public schools, Mark, and you'll probably agree with me. We don't have any more local newspapers anymore. They're getting bought out by the big medias so that they can be eradicated, so that the media companies can control what we have as our factual intake. The small journalistic newspaper used to give us the facts of life, meaning you would have a journalist from my hometown, the Valley News, would have a journalist go to a school board meeting to find out what's going on at the school board and going on at the local school. There used to be a journalist that used to cover the games at the local towns in all the districts around. You don't have that anymore. You don't have that personal thing. You've got a news feed or a stream from the school or whatever like media entity that can do that. You're not getting people talking about people locally anymore. And that's another scary thing, because your local government and your local people, decision makers, is what trickles up.
Night Train says rating-based news, agreed. And Timeless, I think Timeless puts in there early to mid 80s. Then it ended.
It ended, yeah, because of the cable. Because of cable and the talking heads, the Sean Hannitys and
Rush Limbaugh's and
but you know what? I remember Rush Limbaugh in the 80s. He was on AM along with Sally Jesse Raphael and Phil Donahue and all of those types of media that spawned the reality and into the talking head news run of 24-hour news cycle.
Right.
That is what's ruining a lot of our ability to understand what we're trying to digest and why we can't, because we don't have people that are unbiased reporting truth.
I don't know if I told you this story, but I had students coming into my classroom after their lunch, and I usually run news on my computer, and I happen to have it on still so they could hear, and it was CNN, right? And I'm trying to think of when it was, but I was just, I know that people have their opinions about different channels and what they do and their opinions and stuff. So student walks in and she goes, "What are you listening to?" I said, "Well, I'm listening to the news." And it was during the impeachment, and there was some breaking news. I wanted to hear about it, and I was waiting to hear about it. But then I had to end it, of course, because class was starting. She goes, "I get that, but why are you listening to CNN?" I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "They're not very objective about reporting news. They're one-sided." And we have to be careful in the United States with talking about politics, because we can be accused of trying to sway students' opinions. And I said, "Listen, I get it. CNN is they're very one-sided. They report, they're anti-Trump, they're pro-Democrat, blah." I said, "I'm an independent, but I got to pick a news station, right? I got to pick something to get my information, and I like their format, and I like some of the correspondents that are on there."
BBC World.
And I can get it because of my service with my internet, because I'm using my own internet with my phone. And she goes, "There are much better channels out there that are much more objective than CNN. CNN's the worst." And then I went and asked, I said, "So do you have a suggestion then?" She goes, "Yes, you should be listening to Fox." And I'm like, and the funny thing was, there were a handful of students who were walking into the conversation. And I said, "So you're suggesting that Fox is not only objective, but the most objective channel to listen to the news?" She goes, "Absolutely." And all the kids in the room looked at her and they're like, "Are you freaking nuts?" And again, I get it. Every channel has their side. I'm not trying to say CNN is any better or any worse, but I'm like, to think that you're watching something that's the problem with the youth. They do believe what they listen to. And she is convinced that Fox News is the most objective.
One of the epiphanies that I had
of
news as a musician and in learning new things, because Western music, I'm sorry to tell you, people, ain't the only music out there. Has anybody ever heard of the Chinese gamelan or any?
And we're not original, music? And we're not original either.
We didn't create opera. Okay, so.
Oh, I got a story about that. You'll get a kick out of it.
So here's what my epiphany was, and this is the problem with that young lady. She doesn't know that an apple exists, and therefore will never pick that apple when presented
I got you.
in front of her.
Understood.
So in her closed-mindedness and the inability for anybody to get into that closed-mindedness, she will never, ever change or adjust her opinion because she can't.
And here's the scary thing. She's probably one of my best math students too. She's phenomenally intelligent. And that's the irony
and
of
that
too.
And the scary part, I've always said, isn't a bad kid.
Mhm.
It's a bad smart kid
Yeah.
because they're the most scary
Well,
because
I
they know
don't
how to
think
wield
yeah.
their power.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to be an evil like genius of any sort, but I just think that she's shutting the
No,
doors.
but
you know.
her
Pinky on the
her
brain.
inability to understand that there are other things out there is going to completely
Right.
stifle her abilities
Now,
in everything.
I'm going to go back to something you said and that I said about not being original. And it's music
can
based,
guess.
and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, because I had this. There it is.
Yeah, we're not going to be at the movie theaters anymore doing our reviews.
What happened? What did I miss?
Did you see the screen?
No.
He's sharing screen.
Oh, I'm on like. I'm on. How the heck am I on this? Where is it?
You got to be looking at. You got to be looking at the Zoom feed, not the. Well, no, you should see it on the YouTube feed also.
Yeah, I know, but I can't. There. Oh, there it is. Okay, I get it now.
So I had a discussion with a person who is a hardcore country music fan. Now, country music is not my choice of music; it's not my genre. But I
get it, but I don't like it.
Yeah,
and I can tell you why I don't like it.
Okay, well, I'll let you do that in a second. And I thought I'd heard this through documentaries or something. And I said to him, I said, why do you like country so music? Because he's big patriot. And he's like, because it's American. It was invented here. Blah blah blah. And I said, I think you're wrong in that. He goes, what do you mean? I said, country music doesn't have its roots in the United States. Country music has its roots more in Ireland than it does in the United States. He goes, what do you mean? I said, fiddle playing. I said, a lot of that came over when they immigrated to the United States. A lot of that music comes from that folk genre of music, if I'm not mistaken, or at least part of it does. Country did not just evolve in the United States on its own. It had influence from other countries.
It did. Okay. You're right and wrong a little bit. But the thing is the influences came mostly from Louisiana and up through the Mississippi, through jazz, through ragtime, and Creole. So the melting pot was happening in Louisiana.
Yeah, but where did Louisiana get it?
Well, where did Louisiana get it? It got it from the African, it got it from the European, and it got it from the Latin American influence.
Okay, well that's where I was going, and I said, because again, if you listen to old time Irish drinking songs and stuff like that, you've got that country twang to it as well. So I'm sure that
it's a reel, and that means that there's a certain way of playing it, and there's a certain formulaic way of getting.
Let's face it, country music does have kind of a formula, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I'm on the right page. That's all.
Yes, but see now where you kind of go off the rails is now because of that cultural mix and that melting pot that happened, how jazz happened and how rock and roll happened and how blues and bluegrass and all that, it all emanated from that same melting pot, but it developed differently.
Yeah, it developed a life of its own.
So that's why you have music in Appalachia that sounds very similar to folk and country music, but it's all its own. That's why you have ragtime and bluegrass that sound like jazz, but it's all its own. And that's why when it matriculated up the Mississippi into Chicago and then went across the top, it became jazz and like the big band kind of style that we hear today. Mm-hmm. But where it stopped going up the Mississippi and when it crossed to Texas and into the heartland, that's when it became country.
Right.
That's when it became the lone country, the cowboy singing the folk song that he remembered, but changing it and it evolving, and then it transferring from one potuck to, or not potuck, I forget what they're called, but like little like cowboy little places like truck stops essentially from one, and it was an oral tradition that went across.
And not to degrade the concept of country music, but to say that country music is purely American isn't true. it's got its influences from other countries.
Well, country music is just like jazz
Yeah, it's
and,
just,
and rock.
just an
Rock and roll
evolution.
came from,
Yeah.
but rock and roll can be played and came from Europe.
Right.
Jazz
Agreed.
can be
Oh,
played,
I'm not-
you know. So yeah. So
I mean, that-
but
I guess I just get a funky feeling in my gut when people who are, and again, I'm a patriot. I love my country, but to sit there and just isolate us like as if this country has existed before time and we've created our own thing is a fallacy. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying we need to embrace the fact that we are a melting pot of certain
that's the whole point. Yeah, that's why
a great
music.
thing. But
And that's why that guy is, as you're saying, is closed-minded because he
Yeah.
thinks, ugh. No,
it's purely
Exactly.
American.
It-
I get it. The new format is very much American. I get that, but it didn't start out on its own. It had
No.
help.
if you go
Yeah.
back to even just like in the 50s, you know, you have influences that are from other places in country and Western
Oh
music.
yeah,
You know, I mean,
no doubt.
from Mexico, right? That's a country, isn't it?
it?
Has strong
mariachi.
influences on country music.
So
Sorry, but
so-
that's true.
So I'm taking advantage of my coffee pot here. I'm almost done drinking it. I haven't had to get up from my desk once. Oh wait a minute. Let me. Let's get.
Yeah, you're good, right? Don't talk to him.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I got the bucket underneath. We're good. I don't have to move it off.
In one and out the other.
Yeah.
Mark, what was missing was the slow smile, like you start. Yeah, that's it.
No, the start and go as being an old man.
Yeah, well, that's it. You know. Yeah, I mean, for nothing else, Paul, we are having healthy stream here, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, just checking.
It's good when old men have a healthy stream. It's a positive thing.
Yes.
Right.
You know,
Every
as
morning.
you get older, you appreciate those healthy streams.
Absolutely.
Even though they slow down.
I just tried Mark's one sheet, 3 knuckles deep. I don't know. It wasn't good, Mark. It wasn't good. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's a biological.
I gotta
instinct
practice.
there,
Did you get any on your keyboard?
Right there, Lewis. Here.
Wait, you didn't do. Wait, Hugh, you didn't do
Get
this.
that
after,
thing away
did you?
from me. 6 feet, man.
Hugh, you didn't do this after, did you?
Oh, God.
Now that there is country.
Yeah.
So bad. So bad.
Yeah.
All
I was
right.
thinking
I
of
think
bringing
I've had
some
enough
peanut butter
fun,
on my
guys.
finger, though,
I got to
just
get
to-
going.
You got to get on. Not only that, Roger's probably getting on soon too,
Yeah,
right, Paul?
Roger's going to be coming on here shortly, and so he's getting ready, and so Studio B is getting ready to close, and you need to go over to Canadian Drone Hub on Studio A. And thanks, guys, for coming in. Thanks, everybody in the chat. For
Yeah, I'm going back to
putting up
bed.
with us.
I'm going back to bed.
I'm going to get a big grandpa nap today too, and it's sunny out and no wind, and I should
Yeah.
be flying.
I'm gonna.
that's
I'm
true.
determined to get 2 quads in condition to go fly.
There you go.
So
All
Thanks for
right,
having us
well,
on, Paul.
Yep, we'll see
time, bud.
everybody again soon in the chat. Thanks.
take care,
Go-
everybody.
Go over to Canadian Drone Hub. He should be on there shortly, so watch for Roger.
All right, guys.
Till
We'll see you
then,
later.
till next time,
Bye-bye.
take care, and we'll see everybody again